it's wrong. Modify you all, you're only frightened. You wanna chew me up, but I'm never gonna lose the love. Maybe you have the right to define me, and maybe you have the dime to entice me. Might is what we do. We play the game like different rules. Maybe you should waste your life instead of mine, instead of mine, instead of mine. You wanna chew me up, but I'm never gonna lose the love. Oh, it's only fine. Modify you all, you're only frightened.
Talk to me and watch me crumble. You will see me come undone. Faithfully, I will look over. There I'll find what you've become.
A little throwback. You guys, it's Jazz Friday gaming dinner and a movie. We're so back. We're so back. Yeah. Who just got activated? Y'all were sleeping. I hope your back is strong enough to carry the streams this weekend. Good thing I did back day. All right, y'all. Hogan, thank you for the gifted. Oh. Have I seen Eddington yet? Nope. Not yet. Can you do this? It's too much for some of you? Can you do this at the same time? Why are you giving Carol? Because I am Carol and Carol is me. Oh, it is sweaty in here. Oh, Deanie, thank you for the bits. Happy Jazz Gaming dinner and a movie Friday, everyone. Who's excited? Okay, we're not doing those things. We're doing one of those things. We're gaming tonight. But allegedly, dinner and a movie is Sunday. We're also watching Survivor and doing community night. Yeah. Everything. Am I gonna play LA Noire anytime soon? Yeah, probably. Boom, moi. Sup? We're gonna do a fridge review. Yup. Yeah, indeed. God, why is it 1,000 fucking degrees in here? I'm just so hot. I'm so hot. All right. Anyway, how are we doing? What's going on? You did not talk about this yesterday. I didn't talk about this yesterday, but I did see this. Can you imagine? Can you imagine having a situationship for decades? That you are 77 years old and you're still keeping it alive. Love never dies, everyone. Love never dies. That is Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham. Like, this is coordinated. It was also dropped yesterday, the same day as the Coldplay thing. Yeah, and if you go forward, I'll meet you there. You gotta love it. Someone, can I get some lore? Can I get some lore? Super TLDR. Stevie is the woman, Lindsay is the man. I know, it's confusing, right? They were in a 70s rock band called Fleetwood Mac. Heard of it? And were very much in love, but couldn't make it work with all the drugs and ego problems and so on. They've hated each other for 40 years. ... Until now? Question mark. At Grok. Is this true love? Yeah, also, not exactly the story, but you know what? Good enough. Stevie said she finally dropped in because he was mean to Harry Styles, so he must have apologized. Or maybe she was like, you know what? You were justified. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. And they have made some of the most amazing music out of their messy ass situationship. Yeah, ain't that the truth? I'm pretty sure Lindsey Buckingham is still married. Yeah, he's been married since 2000. I guess we've got some new rumors. The world's greatest situationship is back on, everyone. Here you go. You can do it, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. Don't understand what those lines are. And if I go for it, I'll meet you there. That is from the song Frozen Love. And that is off their album Buckingham Nicks. And it was their one and only joint venture before joining Fleetwood Mac. So it's why, you know, all the fans. Yeah, that's a classic. That performance of Silver Springs that has forever remained a classic of not just Fleetwood Mac, but also the great pop culture symbol of really fucking intense love. Okay, did you really write? I wrote gaming with. And then I ran out of characters. Well, I had enough for S. Maybe I'll add the S. Called out. I had enough for the S. Yeah, I wonder who it could be. I wonder who I'm gaming with on Jazz Friday dinner and a movie gaming night. What in the Wheel of Fortune? Look, letters cost money these days, okay? Do you know about this? Yes. I like saw this, but because I'm not in the Rilo Star Wars, like this isn't really my world. I saw it and I was kind of like, oh, okay. I get why people are like, oh, what? Daisy Ridley's husband, Tom Bateman, will star in the film adaptation of The Love Hypothesis, which was originally published as Rilo fan fiction. Raylo, whatever. Daisy Ridley's husband in an adaptation of Raylo fan fiction. Surreal. And he's starring with... he's starring opposite of... what's her... Lily Reinhart from... No, not Billy Bobby Brown. Lily Reinhart from Riverdale. Why is this anyone's world? I don't know, man. The Raylo fan base is strong. Like, I do know that, okay? It was, so Raylo is, it's Ray and Kylo Ren, and it's fanfic. And this novel, The Love Hypothesis, is based on a Raylo fanfic. I don't know if it's like okay. I mean, no, obviously Daisy doesn't care. She's not like, what? My husband is starring in the Raylo fanfic? No, she doesn't give a fuck. I don't know if this, like, are people kind of just, are they just kind of buzzing around it? Like, they just think it's like he. I don't know. Like I said, this ain't my world. The main character's name is Adam, and Daisy's husband Tom is the villain of the story. Wait. Okay. Well, yeah. So I glanced past that on the internet. Wait, Haley Williams Haley Williams weighed in. This is gonna save the tour. Oh my god. Haley Williams and Fleetwood Mac reuniting. It's gonna be the biggest thing. The opposite of this is gonna ruin the world tour. This is gonna save the world tour. You can go your own way. Eric's, thank you for the 15 months. Have you seen the newest Club Chalamet? Yeah, I have not checked in on her in a minute. And then I saw this and I was like, oh yeah, no, she's still... Oh. And we're not there anymore. Okay. Oh, okay. Is it because Club C deleted it? No. No, she's such a freak. She's such a freak. Oh my god, you're such a freak. And you open up your mentions, coward. I needed to find the most French-looking image of Timothy Chalamet today to prove a point. Timmy's surname should never be ethnically changed as a joke. I find it incredibly disrespectful to his French, Jewish, American ancestry, and to him, especially in light of current events. Hashtag Timothy Chalamet. Hashtag French. This is why she's mad. Okay. What is this from? As the lights dimmed at Cinemark Robinson Township and XD around 2 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, out walked Timmy Chalamet in a black tank. Yeah, okay, so you know how people are always doing like variation on Timothy Charlamina? Timothy Shalalalalalalala, stuff like that. And this one is Chalamadashian, like Kardashian. It's from this article that she replied to. And my question, oh my God, she is such a piece of shit. Also, Timmy did a weird Cash App ad. Did anybody see that? He's doing Cash App ads. I'm like, do you really have to be doing that? Timothy Shalamana, shalalalala, don't be wild. So okay, let's talk about his Cash App ad. It's very bizarre. Times are look at this economy. Is this a sign of the recession?
So these are rare vegetables? Because I feel like I've seen a lot of these before.
I can assure you, you have not. The seeds were scattered by hand in volcanic soil and washed in spring water and Dried in linen sheets. This may be of interest. A variation of the mango wurzel of Victorian England. A beet-like beauty once used for feeding livestock.
Timothy Chalamet Cash
Are
App.
you listening?
Yeah, it's just there's that kid staring at me over there.
Have you told him yet?
Told me what?
We only accept certain forms of payment, like iron ingots, cowrie shells, certain rare salts.
Under the right circumstances, livestock.
You guys, this is playing in theaters. It's a promo for Cash App, and it's playing in movie theaters.
Is it serious?
The world is moving quickly these days. I'm sure we can all agree.
Come on, let's be real. Your currency's not just old, it's not working for you anymore. I mean, are your shells earning you APY? Can you send ingots through your phone? You're stuck in yesterday when today is already tomorrow.
Yeah, it's playing
What do you
before
want?
Superman.
You want a robot? You want a robot as a father?
Dad, I'm not saying we have to change who we are. I'm just saying it could be a lot easier if we bank through like Cash App instead of, livestock or salts or whatever.
Also, the way they shot this as like
How do I pay for this?
it's kind of got like a not like necessarily the coloring of, you know what it feels like? A Luca. It's like a Luca film. it's giving like a Luca Guadagnino film. Okay, so here's what the chief marketing officer said. We wanted to give Timothy a platform to encourage open conversations around money across age groups in a way that felt fresh and authentic to who he is as an artist. We've always empowered our partners to use their own voice and creative lens when sharing Cash App. Remember when I did Cash App trivia with their audiences, and we're thrilled to continue that momentum with one of the most prominent and influential actors of his generation. So Timothy said in a statement, financial literacy across all age groups is important, and this seeks to emphasize that. So and I guess they're going to be releasing Cash App card stamps designed with Timmy. They're going to be limited edition Cash App card stamps. Now I'm 1 degree of separation away from Timmy C, that I did Cash App trivia and now he's doing Cash App whatever. So yeah, he is he's the Cash App guy now. Okay, so this was the article that came out, and okay, wait, let me see the part where it says As for me, and certainly anyone else with unresolved psychological turmoil, I could not stop thinking about the mysterious Timothy Chalamet Cash App commercial that played before my screening. As the lights dimmed at Cinemark Robinson Township and XD around 2 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, out walked Timmy Chalamet in a black tank. He's shopping for groceries at a rare produce market whose owner begins to list all sorts of treasured goods for sale. Then his son tells old Daddy-O to move his point of sale system, which previously accepted livestock offerings in certain cases, over to Cash App. Mr. Knickerbocker is somewhat disturbed by the kid, who won't stop staring at him, and ultimately gives way to Superman wondering how the heck he's supposed to pay for his Victorian-era mango. If you're wondering if the spot is as weird as it sounds, yes, reader, it's extremely fucking weird. Later that night, I found that the commercial doesn't exist anywhere online. Did I somehow hallucinate my encounter with the Cash App Deep? Rest assured, I did not. Nearly every Timothy Chalamet fan account was chattering about watching the commercial before Superman. Even the hater accounts. One user on r/Timothy Chalamet Snark. Oh my God. You know that Club Chalamet is like constantly spying on this Snark Reddit page. Even r/Timothy Chalamet Snark wrote, "You know it's bad when you a 2-time Oscar nominee and Capital One doesn't hit you up. I mean, Cash App? Really, dude, you can tell his heart wasn't even in it." Some viewers even uploaded their recorded footage of the spot, and you can watch one of them below. So that leaves me with just one question. How did Cash App create a commercial so damn mysterious that even Club Chalamet doesn't know anything about it? Because as far as I can tell, the commercial didn't even run before every Superman screening, nor has it appeared in other formats outside of select blessed theaters. I don't know anything about a Timmy Cash App ad running before the Superman screenings, as I saw the film twice thus far, reads the Holy Timothy Chalamet fan account statement on the matter. Yeah. You know that Club Chalamet too gets upset when like she doesn't know something that Timmy did. He did it and didn't give a shit. Yeah. I think the check cleared, or I guess the whatever he got paid in. Okay, so Club Chalamet comments underneath, and of course she's probably pissed that she was mentioned in it, and not in a flattering way. Guys, cool article, but please don't Armenianize his surname. He's French and proud. Oh, this witch! She's so nasty. She's so fucking bitter. Armenianize? Excuse me, what's up with the Yeah, she's evil. In case, remember, Club Chalamet is evil. Also, Kylie's not Armenian. Kylie Jenner is not Armenian. Kylie Jenner is a white girl. And in the article, they just said Timmy Chalamadashian. Good Lord, you're a fucking loser. And then she doubled down on this today to be like, hey, here's a very white looking Timothy Chalamet. Just remember that he's white. And by that, French. Also, this part here, especially in light of current events, like, girl, are you really making this about Israel and Palestine? Is that what this is about? Because you mentioned his Jewish ancestry. Because we know Club Chalamet is a disgusting Zionist. She's a freak. She is a freak. This grown-ass lady. Wait, is Kylie? No. The Kardashian dad, Rob Kardashian, was Armenian. Kris Jenner is white. Caitlyn Jenner, also white. So Kendall and Kylie are they're not Armenian. Man, she really just sucks. She is just the fucking worst. You know what? I hope that Kylie and Timmy get married, have like 800 babies. Please. I know that I have nothing to do with this, but neither does Club Chalamet. And I hate that woman so bad that I just want her to suffer. I do. So I'm over here being like, do I hear wedding bells? Do I hear wedding bells? Please? You know what I want to do? I want to start rumors that Kylie's pregnant with triplets. Kylie and Timmy are having triplets. It is hater energy because Club Chalamet sucks so bad. She sucks so bad. And we all know that this is the most important thing in her life. Seems appropriate to bring back this clip. So this is how I do my petty.
She stalks. Yeah, she's like a stalker too. Yeah. So she's
Bro,
not just
it's like
a stan, she
stan
is
Twitter?
literally a stalker.
Bro.
And she's 59 years old. And you want to know the worst part? She's black.
Bro, thank God. Thank God that was a collab that I did with Cinna before she blew the hell up, because all of those accounts that are like obsessed with Cinna and that like repost everything that she's in, that would have made the rounds and people would have been like, because y'all motherfuckers cut it off at that point. Trying to take me down. Your biggest ops always are coming from inside. The call is coming from inside the house. Yeah, that Yoxic account or whatever would be coming after me. Taken out of context. Yeah. You know what? No, it's the people like, oh no, that's completely in context. Completely. Excuse me, streamer. I believe last night we were discussing how it's not good to wish harm on others, and yet here you are wishing mental anguish on a creepy 6-year-old stalker for 20-something. Wow. Oh yeah, I wish Club Chalamet nothing but total anguish. Like I hope that every day she gets splinters in her stupid feet. Every day. Sports Center weighing in. Oh my God. See, and like, here's the thing too. Okay. All right. Can I be so for real? The other thing, I feel like aside from everything else we talked about last night, when the joke just keeps going, like it's not even funny anymore. You know what I mean? Because like then it just keeps going and going, and as like more brands and companies and institutions jump in, and then they're all trying to like have fun with it, we will see this continuing.
Baseball is probably not the only thing you can say that about. Recently, us.
Like it just becomes cringe as it keeps going on. Oh, did you see his daughter posted the TikTok? Wait, what? No. Wait, his daughter posted the TikTok? What is the TikTok? The Philly Fantic was caught red-handed by a kiss cam. Who the fuck is the Philly Fantic? Is this like a mascot? Oh. Apparently, like 5 people have claimed to be his kids, and he only has 2 apparently, so we got a bunch of liars. Right, this is what I mean by like people get so weird about it. They can't stop being weird. You know? Where it's like, man, if you're pretending to be the child of... Okay, this one, here's what I say. This one, funnier than the other one. This one funnier than the other one. But yeah, what happens is a joke just gets run into the ground. And it's especially to me it gets so cringe when the brands get in on it. When it's like, oh.
When you try your best, but you don't succeed.
I don't know, you guys, maybe I also just have a very high bar for humor. Who's the... Ew, Gavin Newsom? You guys, this is what I mean, right? Gavin Newsom is posting a TikTok of the Coldplay affair, but with Trump and Epstein. Don't you have shit to do? Don't you have stuff to do that's not this? Also, Newsom, you had an affair too, man. Oh my God. Gruesome Newsom. Like, why is Gavin Newsom's account posting edits on TikTok? Why? I don't know. This is the direct aftermath during the concert.
All right, okay, hold on.
Yeah, Gavin Newsom, who cheated on his wife and also dated a 19-year-old when he was 37 or 38. That fucking guy. I think Gavin's probably got even more skeletons in his closet. Okay. Yes, he dated. This was after he got divorced. He's a fucking cheater too. And he was dating this girl that had to use a fake ID when they went to an event because she was like 19. She was a waitress or something like that. Yeah, and he was almost 40. 1738.
Sisters, oh, look at them. both waving hello.
Sorry, yeah, he was 39.
Thanks for coming today to see our band play. Dressed as bananas and dressed all in
Okay, wait. This I'm
Oh,
gonna
let me
skip
think of
forward.
something here. Habla español. Each other's.
Wait, nothing happened in this. Oh, what happened after do you have the full video? Oh, people were just like, wait, 119?
Couple? You two a couple? Are you two a legitimate couple? Do you understand English? Hablas español? Okay, I'm just gonna risk it. Can you hear me? My brother, you can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, good. All right. Well, look at this beautiful couple. Handsome gentleman and beautiful miss. Well, please don't be lazy. Make the whole place go crazy. Will you please give each other a kiss?
Gotta double check now.
Oh, that's beautiful. Let's go, Quincy.
Wait, I just joined who we talking about dating a young woman. Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom. He's still continuing his anti-trans tour and right-wing podcast this week. Cool. Yeah, I'll be so excited when Gavin Newsom announces his run for president. Can't wait. Can't wait. God, this guy, he fucking sucks. This is our opposition, dog. On this latest podcast, the meandering conversation started on America's so-called masculinity crisis, a reference to real problems facing boys and men, such as higher rates of suicide and social isolation, or a nod to conservative pearl clutching about the perceived feminization of American boys, depending on who you ask. Most of these kids, many of them are not even having any sexual relations with other women. Not like me, Gavin Newsom, who when I was 39 years old, I dated a 19-year-old, and she had to use a fake ID when I took her to an event. The conversation went from lamenting how American youth don't have enough sex to hand-wringing about whether the LGBT rights movement may be pushing sexuality onto kids. Oh my fucking God. I'm so sick and tired. Okay, so is it that kids aren't having sex, or that like LGBTQ activists are shoving sexuality and whatever else onto kids? Oh God, Speaking of sexuality and divisiveness, one of the things in the last administration that really divided people was gender affirming care. LGBTQ. They incorrectly equated sexual orientation and gender identity, leading to a conversation about what Newsom called the trans issue. Anybody who uses that phrase, the trans issue, is a piece of shit. Like, you just know the thing that's about to come out of their mouth is heinous. Yeah. bring back teen pregnancy. That's now no longer about celebrating your rights. It's about denying other people theirs. Marriage equality was about everyone's right, but your child may not have that same opportunity to get on the podium if a trans athlete... Oh my fucking God. They just want to make everything about trans athletes in sports. Oh my God. Y'all won, okay? Y'all won. And yet we're still... How do you go from kids aren't having enough sex... Which also, like, ew, I'm sorry, really gross for for adults to be on a podcast talking about, like, the kids not having enough sex. That grosses me out. These grown-ass men being like, why aren't they fucking? Why aren't the kids fucking? And then to like, always bring it back to trans athletes. Oh, my God. Y'all, you guys are the ones who are obsessed. Newsom's rhetoric also falsely implies that the rights of trans women and girls are innately in competition with those of presumed cis people. In reality, anti-trans vitriol routinely leads to violence against everyone. It fuels witch hunts against athletes even accused of being trans, such as the case with Iman Khalif. It's resulted in death threats, anti-trans harassment, and doxing campaigns against countless young girls, both cis and trans. Man, honestly, like right-wingers and liberals being transphobic constantly, they love it. It's, you want to know why? You want to know why they always bring up trans athletes in sports? Because they genuinely want to find something that they can easily agree on, right? Like Gavin Newsom goes on these podcasts and he's trying to be chummy with these right-wing podcasters, and they like take great pleasure in bonding over this anti-trans hysteria. It's no longer about celebrating your rights, it's about denying other people theirs. Wow. Okay. Yeah, because you know the one thing that trans people have is a whole bunch of rights. Yep. Why trans people, why don't you just go celebrate your rights? Trying to take rights away from other people now? Whoa. We've gotten a little too far. God, he's such a piece of shit. The trans issue for me is so novel, Newsom said. I'm trying to understand as much as anyone else the whole pronoun thing. Oh, it's not hard, you stupid piece of shit. They love to do this, though. They love to be like, the whole pronoun thing. Look, I'm trying to get it. No, you're not, because it's not difficult. It's not. You all act as if it's like this, crazy thing. And I'm just, look, I'm trying to be... I'm trying to understand it. Okay? Can't say I'm not trying. Oh my God, he's so annoying. Gavin might be the worst Democrat out there. Did you see he's trying to ease oil permits in Cali to open up more drilling? Green my ass. Oh, is this when he's not busy personally destroying homeless encampments? When he's taking time away from like throwing away the few valuables that homeless people in California have, that he loves to go do that. That's like something that he loves to go out into the field. He's like, you know what? I'll get out from behind the desk. I'll go do this myself. I'll go focus on this. Yeah. How about Newsom? Add one letter to the word trans. The letter I. Trains. How about you think about trains instead? Get us some fucking trains. Okay? Newsom proposes to ease permits for oil drilling in California. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, y'all. All these people are just fucking Republicans. They're just all Republicans. Holy shit, dude. I just want to crash the fuck out when liberals sink their fucking dumb brains into trans stuff. Oh my God. I know. I'm more open-minded than I've ever been, Newsom says of anti-trans sentiments. I think the sports issue really opened that door for me, the nuances in that space. Okay, yeah, you cannot be identifying as a champion for LGBTQ rights when you are constantly going on podcasts like Charlie Kirk's and like dapping him up and then being like, yeah, my son loves you. And also, I think you're pretty great. Oh, yeah. Great. You know what? I'm so glad the trans community has Gavin Newsom out there advocating for them. Awesome. Okay. What is this? We need more fifth place swimmers. I cannot believe that we still have to deal with Riley fucking Gaines. What has there ever been an instance of someone who truly made so much out of being mediocre, out of like being a loser? Fifth place. The Confederacy. Okay, true. Good point. Zio, thank you for the gifted evil, evil monkey. Thank you for the 11 months. The Slitty Pooch, thank you for the tier 1. Barry Weiss, yeah, who is it that's buying the free press again? Who was looking at buying Barry Weiss's free press? Skydance. Awesome. Right. I was like, wait, I know this connects into things we've been talking about. Skydance is in early talks to acquire the free press. Skydance, who has been in the news for a number of reasons. One, because of this impending merger with Paramount Global, because of the $16 million settlement that Paramount agreed to pay to Donald Trump over the frickin' editing of the CBS News interview, even though they would have won that case in a court of law. That was absolutely capitulating, just bending the knee, because Stephen Colbert's The Late Show just was announced as canceled, and now there's a lot of questions about, like, is just all of liberal late night going to get the axe? Like, what does this mean? What does this say in terms of the censorship that's ongoing and worsening? But anyway, yeah. So Skydance is in early talks to buy Barry Weiss's The Free Press. David Allison has been meeting with Barry Weiss. You know what they're going to do? You know what they're going to fucking do? Barry Weiss is going to get the late night show. They're going to axe all their late night programs, and then they're going to introduce like some new version of late night with Barry Weiss. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to put that out there. Funny you should say that about Barry, because as of 10 minutes ago, under a potential deal, Barry Weiss would serve as an ideological guide of sorts at CBS News. Oh boy. Oh fucking boy. Jesus. Y'all, Brian, kill me. An ideological guide? Yeah. Again, another person who just sucks so bad, and just keeps going up. God, I wish her nothing but absolute failure. But I don't know if that will, if that will happen. Okay, David Rhodes, the one-time CBS News head and current executive at Sky in the UK, is in talks to take over CBS News if/when the Skydance acquisition of Paramount closes, per 3 sources familiar with the negotiations. As with all these things, talks could still fall apart, but if David Ellison and his Skydance team sign Rhodes and close a pending deal to acquire the Free Press, the center-right media brand founded by Barry Weiss, the plan would call for Rhodes to manage and operate CBS News day-to-day alongside Weiss as an ideological guide of sorts. Are you surprised? The Rhodes negotiation is a closely held secret within the Skydance Redbird acquisition team, or so they thought, but he kind of represents the perfect mix of what Ellison seems to want at CBS News. A credible centrist journalism manager who can handle the idiosyncrasies of CBS, there are many, and likely won't cause an exodus of talent, but will also signal to Donald Trump, FCC Chair Brendan Carr, and many Republican skeptics that the overseer of 60 Minutes at least has conservative bona fides on his resume. Rhodes, who is currently executive chair of Sky News, ran CBS News from 2011 through 2019. Before that, he worked at Fox News for 12 years, albeit running the news show, not the opinion programming. Before joining Sky, Rhodes also worked for the Murdochs on media initiatives in the UK. His name came up in the speculation around who would take over CNN after Chris Light was ousted in 2023. Oh, his brother is Ben Rhodes, the former top Obama aide. I was like, Y'all! Does anyone in chat actually watch CBS? And if so, what do you watch? I have no idea what they even air. Well, the reason that everyone's talking about CBS is because of Colbert Show. And because Colbert Show got axed, and a lot of people are looking at this situation as an example of the censorship, the suppression of speech under Trump's administration, because 2 days before it was suddenly announced that Colbert's show was going to be canceled. And look, guys, regardless of how you feel about Stephen Colbert, and I know most people in here like don't align with his very liberal politics, it's not a good thing that this is happening, especially if the reasons are political. And what this could mean too then for like the Daily Show getting axed next. Yes, he's a lib, but he's better than what is presumably to come. Yes, and also just the squashing of liberal comedians on late night, where it's like, man, they're coming for the white liberals. Not a good sign. Okay, given the size of Sky News, I could see how running CBS News, if the deal comes together, might seem like a step down, but Rhodes is American. The CBS News brand still matters a great deal here, and the ambition of the Ellisons may be especially appealing. Plus, things didn't end great for Rhodes during his first stint at CBS News. Ratings were falling. He had to fire star anchor Charlie Rose after Rose was accused of sexual misconduct by multiple women. I'm so surprised Charlie Rose hasn't come back, because we're in post Me Too, where it's like, it doesn't matter anymore. It's like, oh, you got in trouble for sexual misconduct? It's fine. You can come back. Rhodes also got caught heat for replacing Scott Pelley at CBS Evening News with Jeff Glor, who lasted only 2 years before being chased to a weekend slot by Norah O'Donnell. Some talent at CBS found Rhodes awkward in the role, and he had a few clashes with the 60 Minutes team. Always glad to feel more similarities to V for Vendetta in real life. Yeah, if you thought that the if you thought that the V for Vendetta authoritarian commentary was like, oh, this is exaggerated, there's just no way. Well, it feels like V for Vendetta was actually quite prophetic. I've wanted a V for Vendetta for movie night for so long. That'd be a good one to watch. Wait, I feel like we'll watch that one. Maybe? I don't know. DJ Kento, thank you for the bits. Average Brody, thank you for the 5 months. Okay. All right. So, but that was then, an Ellison who I'm told has met personally with Rhodes believes he possesses the even-keeled temperament to steer the plane through the current turbulence and balance Weiss, who can be less even-keeled. You mean a psychopath? And that's the ultimate question here. How would a Rhodes-Weiss partnership work? Would she consult broadly on overall coverage strategy, or sit in morning news meetings and suggest specific story ideas? Well, we know what her MO around Israel is going to be. Would she appear on 60 Minutes? Bigfoot experienced news executives. CBS News has been tossed and turned by the Trump litigation and the concessions forced upon it by this Paramount sale, which isn't over, by the way. And like I said, CBS News is a particularly prickly operation with the current president, Tom Sabrowski, who's experienced and trusted internally. Bringing in a new leader is never easy, but it would be doubly complicated by adding Weiss, who carries an explicit ideological perspective. That's sending, if that happens, sorry. If that happens, that is sending a big message on the direction that CBS is going to keep going in. Sasha, thank you for the 26-month Sailor. Rachel, thank you for the Prime. Paramount also censored one of Nathan Fielder's episodes due to October 7th. Yep. Nathan Fielder was right. Never doubt. In Nathan Fielder, we trust. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, speaking of complicated, today's announcement that CBS will end Late Show with Stephen Colbert at the end of the 2026 season came as a shock to you, me, and those who worked on the program for years. I think Jimmy Kimmel came out and was basically like, fuck CBS. Like, the sentiment, the growing sentiment seems to be that Stephen Colbert and others like him are donezo. That because of these companies, the CEOs and the decision makers aligning with Donald Trump, then it's coming down upon anyone who is a little bit too anti-Trump. You criticize Trump too much. You were too nasty. You were too nasty about the $16 million settlement, which is fucking bullshit that Paramount is doing that. And you gone. So, and the head of, or the main producer of 60 Minutes had stepped down because he said that the independence, journalistic independence is threatened now, that the integrity of the show is now at major risk because of these actions being taken. So Last Week Tonight is over. Well, Last Week Tonight is HBO. And HBO is owned by Warner Brothers Discovery. So it's separate from this. But what I'm trying to say is that the cancellation of late night being for seemingly political purposes sets a bad precedent and could be a bad sign for more to come. Is Theo Von going to replace Colbert? Yeah. So I wouldn't, I'm not going to say that like, oh, they're coming for John Oliver next as like a sure thing. But what they're saying with Colbert is that, oh no, this had nothing to do with anything other than just financial reasons, where the Late Show was the number one in its 11:30 slot, which kind of seems to push back on the idea that, oh, the show just wasn't doing well enough. And when you compare it to other late night programs, aside from Greg Gutfeld, like it's either, on par or even higher. How many times does it take for people to learn when Barry Weiss keeps getting placed at the head of something as a centrist before it then fails, and Barry is just not good at anything? She sucks. Barry Weiss is so fucking mediocre. That's the thing too. Not even just like I hate her ideological beliefs. Like I think she has heinous beliefs, but I also just think she's just not even entertaining. She's not like, she just is bad. She's bad. I've never thought that she was ever like any type of star. Okay, so the Paramount's co-CEO George Cheeks pulled the trigger on this one. Fucking Cheeks. Those sources tell me CBS execs have been discussing the future of the Late Show franchise for months. The Colbert team was notified around July 4th that the show was in jeopardy, and Colbert himself was told of the decision last night. CBS did not plan to announce the move so soon, but Colbert decided that to avoid leaks, he wanted to reveal it this afternoon to his staff and discuss it on his show, which he did. You can tell from the clips that he's still kind of in shock, and backstage, I'm told he was resolute and matter-of-fact with his top staff, thanking them and not angry, actually, per one source in the Ed Sullivan Theater. For those keeping track of Paramount merger politics, Cheeks did not consult Ellison, Jeff Shell, or the incoming Skydance team in advance. Canceling a money-losing program does not rise to the level of a material decision that must be run by the new regime, and Late Show has been losing more than $40 million a year for CBS, although that doesn't include some ancillary revenue. While the show still garners an average of 2.47 million viewers a night, leads its 11:35 rivals in total audience, and just this week was nominated for its 9th consecutive Emmy for Outstanding Talk Variety Series, its ad revenue has plummeted precipitously since the 2021 to 2022 season. But linear ratings are down everywhere, and as the Times reported, the network late night shows took in 439 million combined in ad revenue in 2018. By last year, though, that figure had dropped by 50%. Measure that against the more than 100 million per season it costs to produce Late Show. By contrast, the CBS primetime and daytime dayparts are still profitable, and that programming is supported by robust license fees for streaming and other off-network viewing. Late Show, with its topical humor and celebrity interviews pegged to specific projects, has struggled on Paramount Plus, and of the 3 network late night shows, Late Show has by far the smallest digital footprint on YouTube and other platforms. So from a business perspective, the cancellation makes sense, and Cheeks and his underlings said in a carefully worded press release that it's not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount. But nothing is just business these days, right? Only 3 days ago, Colbert unleashed on his parent company for paying a $16 million big fat bribe to settle the Trump's 60 Minutes litigation. And Colbert, who initially struggled on CBS before rising to first place after he positioned Late Show as a key voice of the Trump 1.0 resistance, regularly attacks the president and often hosts fire-breathing left-wing guests like Adam Schiff and the Pod Save America guys. Okay, I'm sorry. But that's very funny to call Adam Schiff and the Pod Save guys left wing. Like, famously, very left wing. If Trump has an enemies list, Colbert is on it. Also, fire breathing. Jon Favreau is not a fire-breathing left-winger. Dragons. The dragons! The president himself has said there are additional conditions attached to the settlement of the 60 Minutes litigation, though Paramount has denied that, and we know Ellison and Trump have spoken privately about the transaction at 2 separate UFC matches. So it's beyond fair to ask whether Colbert is simply another slab of sacrificial lamb tossed to Trump and Carr to get this $8 billion deal approved. Nobody can know for sure. All I can tell you is what I'm hearing. Several sources at both CBS and Skydance insist the decision was based on economics, not politics. After all, if this was about appeasing Trump, they argue, then Cheeks would have pulled Colbert off the air ASAP rather than giving him 10 more months in the chair. Yeah, but here's the thing, is that the Skydance and Paramount merger has been taking a lot longer than they want it to, and they are relying on Trump's FCC chair to push the merger through. So that is why they bent the fucking knee on the settlement that they could have won in court pretty easily. And we're like, yeah, we'll apologize and give him his $16 million. God, is this fucking boring. You know, the thing is, Punnison, you had to wait 10 minutes to type that. So, is it really that boring? Considering you waited 10 fucking minutes to be able to type, God, is this fucking boring, blah, blah, blah. I was already a follower, you clown? Okay, so that doesn't help your case anymore that you already followed me. Hey, buddy. You know what? There's probably some streamer like playing 10 hours of slots somewhere that you would enjoy. Go over to like kick.com/ I don't know, XQC. They've been following for 2 years. 2 years. Since July 2023. Buddy, it kind of seems like you might be you might be into me, and you just hate the fact that you've been around for 2 years and you can't escape. He a fan, he a fan, he a fan. All right. Anyway, so it's beyond fair to ask whether Colbert is simply another slab of sacrificial lamb tossed to Trump and Carr to get this $8 billion deal approved. Nobody can know for sure. All I can tell you is what I'm hearing. Several sources at both CBS and Skydance insist the decision was based... Oh, sorry, I already read that. Okay. Trust me, there's no conspiracy. A very good source close to Colbert told me tonight. Still, 2 other people with deep ties to CBS and Late Show suspect otherwise. After all, when a network decides that a show is too expensive, executives typically go to the key talent and ask them to take pay cuts, fire people, or otherwise slash costs. That didn't happen here, though with Colbert said to be making between 15 and 20 million per year, a pay cut wouldn't have solved the problem on its own. And given the company's willingness to fold to Trump, there's no reason for you or me to think that they would stand up to any political pressure or resist any specific demand, which of course is the reason to not settle frivolous litigation. If Chris McCarthy, Cheeks' counterpart on the cable... I'm sorry, I cannot with the fucking last name of Cheeks. If Chris McCarthy, Cheeks' counterpart on the cable TV side, cancels The Daily Show in the next couple of weeks, I think we'll have a good idea what's going on. But for now, I cautiously and skeptically believe that this was an economic decision. Okay, 1 second. Wait. Let me see if I can find this. God, I just want the clip. I just want the clip from Hacks. If you're a Hacks watcher, you know what I'm talking about. God, I want the whole. I want the speech. Deborah's monologue. Quitting. We need Deb Vance. I know. Shit, everything on YouTube is just like, it's just all people like talking about it. Okay. All right, if you know, you know. And I would die to watch that speech right now. But also, if you're not watching Hacks, what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you doing? Okay. The biggest TV question, is this the dam bursting? We've known for a while that the guys who host these late night shows, Colbert, Kimmel, Fallon, and Myers, will likely be the last to do so, at least in the current format. CBS's Late Late Show was also losing money when James Corden departed in 2023. He died. But it lost less than Colbert because of brand integrations and spin-offs. Corden was offered a new contract. Taylor Tomlinson, who's much cheaper after midnight, replaced Corden, was also renewed this year, but chose to quit and will be replaced by reruns of Byron Allen's syndicated show. Exactly how many seconds until Allen calls Cheeks and asks for the 11:35 slot. But I've sensed the networks have all been reluctant to be the first to pull the trigger on a cancellation in the historic time slot. CBS has now fired the opening shot, and it's reasonable to suspect that NBC and ABC will follow. So no, I wouldn't sleep well tonight if I were Kimmel or Fallon, though both have larger digital footprints and do a lot more for their respective networks. Fallon and Myers have also been protected by Lorne Michaels, who produces both their shows, though I wonder if even Lorne might recognize that the 12:30 slot is increasingly not viable and the sacred cows of television are being slaughtered one by one. Is this the one? Let me see. Yes, this is it. Okay, if you don't want spoilers for the second to last episode of season 4 of Hacks, then don't watch for 2 minutes. But it's so good.
One person who really made it happen.
Okay, let me give you some context. So Deborah is the first woman to host late night. And there's been all this shit that's been happening, a lot of political shit, like with the company and blah, blah, blah. And so going into this, you think that Deborah has fired Ava, who's played by Hannah Einbinder, who has been her writer, her confidant, her lover, maybe. I'm just kidding. where my Ava and Deborah stands. And she had been told by the head of the network to fire Ava. And so you think that's what she's done.
And that's my head writer, Ava Daniels.
Okay.
And I've been asked to fire her, but
Hold on.
there is, of course, one person who really made it happen. And that's my head writer, Ava Daniels. And I've been asked to fire her by the head of this company.
I have chills.
But I won't do that.
What is she doing?
First, who was he's like a celebrity who was a guest on the show, and he was accused of like sexual harassment stuff. Oh, I hate that it cut off there. Oh my God. Why am I crying at a show I've never watched before? Oh, the icon that you are, Deborah Vance, the icon that you are. Sorry, but
What will it take to make you?
did you mouth the words? Maybe I did. Vash Gordon, thank you for the 8 months. I just want to say check your Primes and happy Friday. That's right. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free Prime sub a month to use on your favorite late night show host, which is me, Caroline Kwan. What show is this? This is Hacks. So watch it. It's so fucking good. And that was one of my favorite moments. It's just so good.
I just want to say check your Primes and happy Friday.
Check your Primes. Okay, let me pull up this stream bit. Hold on a second. I'm the next host of Late Night, Carolyn. That's right. Move aside, woke liberals. Carolyn is here. And it's time to put America back together. We are making America again. MAAA.
It is the end of an era. CBS is
MAAA,
canceling The Late Show with
everyone.
Stephen Colbert. It'll go off the air next May.
Irishman,
The
thank you for the
announcement
2
coming
months.
Just days after Colbert criticized his $16 million settlement paid by CBS News' parent company Paramount to settle a lawsuit filed by President Trump.
Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May. And I share your feelings. It's not just the end of our show, but it's the end of The Late Show on CBS. I'm not being replaced. This is all just going away.
Now, CBS calls this a financial decision, but some are wondering whether the move was at all politically motivated. Senator Elizabeth Warren tweeting, quote, "The deal looks like bribery. America deserves to know if his show is canceled for political reasons." CNN media analyst Sarah Fisher is joining us now. Sarah, good to see you this Friday morning. I first just want to get your take on CBS's decision.
Jessica, if it was a political decision, they have enough plausible deniability to say that it was a financial one because of the current state of late night and comedy television. It's very expensive to produce something live every single day, and viewership and ratings for traditional
Prime.
television continue to drop. So even if this was political,
I thought that said W crime.
CBS can get away with saying it wasn't. But I think what you're seeing from Senator Warren's tweet is that people just don't believe that this was a total financial decision, given the backdrop of what you just announced, the settlement with Donald Trump, all of the political pressure, et cetera.
California Democratic Senator Adam Schiff was a late night guest last night when this announcement was made. I want to take a listen to what he told Colbert about Trump.
He wants to make news organizations, CBS and Paramount, afraid. He wants to make ABC afraid, and he is succeeding. In the first term, there were at least...
Yeah, also, Trump today... Trump today posted... said he was thrilled by the news that CBS is canceling the decade-running Late Show with Stephen Colbert. I absolutely love that Colbert got fired, the president wrote in a post on Truth Social. his talent was even less than his ratings. It's like, don't you have some bigger things to worry about, Mr. President? The president also took aim at ABC late night host Jimmy Kimmel and NBC's Tonight Show host Jimmy Fallon while praising Fox News' Greg Gutfeld, whose talk show Gutfeld airs an hour earlier than the major late night shows. I hear Jimmy Kimmel is next. He has even less talent than Colbert. Greg Gutfeld is better than all of them combined, including the moron on NBC who ruined the once great Tonight Show. I don't fuck with Colbert, but what the fuck is happening to free speech? Right, which is like why this is potentially a very big deal that you have, a big deal that like late night and just all media could keep seeing this shift to the right. Good night, Mr. Sonic Jen. Thank you
Some
for
people
hanging out.
to stand up to him. The Secretary Mattis's, the
I don't
John
like
Kelly's,
any
and
of them, nor believe they should be canceled, but they should have at least started with Fallon.
others that had some stature were willing to say, Mr. President, that's a stupid-ass idea.
Sarah, how would you broadly assess the state of news media in this era of the second Trump administration?
I agree with the former congressman. It's under a lot of political pressure. And he's right that news companies are buckling. I mean, both ABC and CBS settled lawsuits that legal experts say they could have won in court, likely because out of fear of political retribution. Of course, we know that CBS was undergoing a merger with its parent company, and they felt as though they needed to settle that lawsuit in order to get regulatory approval of that deal. We're also seeing the Trump-era FCC go after media companies for their DEI policies, which is not typically something that has really fallen within their jurisdiction and their priority list. And you're seeing media companies all changing their DEI policies in response. Telecom companies, too. It's worth noting that T-Mobile changed its DEI policies to get a few deals of its own approved. And so I think media companies feel this pressure. And the biggest concern, Jessica, is not necessarily that they're paying lawsuits. The biggest concern is that they feel like they have to self-censor themselves because they're afraid of what that means for retribution. And that's why I think you have people concerned about the canceling of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. It's a form of self-censoring in a way.
All right, CNN media analyst Sarah Fisher, thanks for stopping by this morning.
Well, I think the other thing too that this feels symbolic, not just of the like media companies bowing down to Trump, but the end of the political comedy late night genre as a whole. I mean, you think about 2 decades ago, right? 20 years ago, when you had like Jon Stewart in the aftermath of the 2000 presidential election, and how urgent this kind of television felt. And it's been fading for a long time. And this really feels like the book being closed. And it's just a matter now of how, one, people's news consumption is different, and two, how right-wing alternative media has just risen in popularity. We still have Bill Maher. You know what? Thank God we still have Bill Maher. My Maher heads, where we at? As someone who worked in TV for almost 2 decades, TV is dead. Well, network television is struggling. It's struggling. I mean, we've talked about this with like as streaming became the dominant form of distribution and whatnot in Hollywood, and how the effects that had on cable TV. Bill Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, I mean, younger people don't watch cable. That's the reality. You know, a lot of people who are Gen Z, even millennial, and then Gen Alpha, you guys get your news and commentary from internet sources. And it's why you've seen like all these late night shows try and have a big digital footprint, because a lot of people will watch a clip You know, they'll maybe watch something on YouTube, but they're not watching it on cable television. Why watch CBS when we have jazz, gaming, dinner, and a movie Friday? That's right.
Appreciate it.
So this surprise announcement came just weeks after Paramount, the parent company of CBS, settled a $16 million lawsuit with President Trump. CNN's Hadas Gold is here. This is big, and there are a lot of questions about it.
A lot of questions. At the end of an era, end of an institution. The show had been running for 32 years. David Letterman, of course, was the predecessor to Stephen Colbert.
Do you
Lots of
think
questions.
SNL will still play a role in political satire? I mean, as long as SNL keeps running, yes, I do think so.
You cannot ignore the timing of all of this and how all of this is happening right now and the decision to announce this now. Now, CBS has taken pains to say this was a purely financial decision, they say, against a challenging backdrop in late night. They say it is not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters
thank you for the
happening
9 months.
at Paramount.
Lady,
Now,
thank you for
it
the
is true.
Prime.
Late night TV does not make the type of money that it used to make just a few years ago. And a source is telling our colleague Brian Stelter that the show was no longer profitable. However, Stephen Colbert was the highest rated show for that hour. And so, you know, you have good ratings going on. The other shows are not being canceled. And of course, nothing happens in a vacuum. Just look at what is happening all around CBS and its parent company, Paramount. Paramount is trying to complete this merger with Skydance. What does it need? It needs Trump administration approval. You just talked about how they just settled $16 million for that lawsuit that most, if not all, legal scholars called completely bogus over how 60 Minutes edited the interview with Kamala Harris. And keep in mind, Stephen Colbert has one of the most frequent, harshest critics of President Trump and of the Trump administration. In fact, he called that settlement a big fat bribe just a few days ago. So it's hard to ignore what is happening in all of this, with all of this happening around. And again, things don't happen in a vacuum. And that's why you're hearing from some members of Congress. In fact, Senator Schiff, who just happened to be on the show with Stephen Colbert when he made that announcement, he said that if Paramount and CBS did the Late Show for political reasons, the public deserves to know. Senator Warren also posting, America deserves to know if his show was canceled for political reasons. Isn't it kind of crazy in today's day and age that the fact that a late night sort of comedy show being canceled is now potentially a point of debate in the Congress?
A sad milestone in television. Hadas Gold, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
In a statement, Senator Elizabeth Warren said the cancellation came just 3 days after the host slammed CBS's owner, Paramount, for its settlement with Trump and called it a deal that looked like bribery. But in their own statement, CBS called it purely financial, a decision against a challenging backdrop in late night. It is not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount. Ellie Honig is back with us at the
You know,
table.
it's interesting because Trump winning the election in 2016 was a big part of why these shows started to falter. Because unlike when they would, you know, eviscerate George Bush and his administration in the early days of late night comedy, Trump was so shameless and it just didn't have the same effect, right? Like the using humor to reveal using humor in covering politics to reveal the like truth beneath it. It just didn't work anymore. And remember, Patriot Act went full frontal with Samantha Bee. The Daily Show, when it was hosted by Trevor Noah, like the ratings went down. And a lot of people thought that, oh, Donald Trump is going to be great for late night because there's so much there's so much to work with here. This is just prime for comedy. And it just agreed. How do you satire the ultimate joke? Yeah, it just didn't hit anymore. It wasn't like biting in the way that it was in the early 2000s. The truths that these comedians would share on these shows like just didn't feel as crucial. I think people just got kind of tired of it too.
I guess it's not surprising that people don't buy it to a degree, but really because of the history here with Trump and these media companies and their desire to not get on his bad side, and also their history of paying him.
So 2 initial reactions to this. Number 1, what on earth is Congress doing wasting their time on this?
Amen.
CBS is a private industry. If they want to give AOC the show, God bless them. If they want to go Fox News, God bless them. They're private. That's First Amendment.
All right, Bernie Sanders for the new late night host.
Congress, if Democrats, if Elizabeth Warren, they go down this road, what an utter waste.
You don't know why they're mad about it? Who was even on the show tonight? Adam Schiff. These shows, Colbert and the rest of them have become nothing but
Healthcare is a
anti-Trump
human
fever
right.
swap.
Am I right?
Them guess every single night.
Also, like, I think that this is a big deal. I think this is a big deal because it relates to the growing issue of suppression of free speech, of censorship, of how Trump is using his strategy of extreme retribution to have all of these major institutions, these giant media companies, bend the knee to him. It's like, okay, so he's threatening to withhold this merger from going through. Yeah, Paramount and Skydance are gonna be like, great, let's give Donald whatever he wants. Like, he's a fucking bully.
Let me ask you a follow-up question.
Well, so there's
Let me
a
ask
legal
you a
part.
follow-up.
I'll hire you as my head writer.
The reason Elizabeth Warren is asking about this, I take your point. I think you're right about can they cancel a show? Absolutely. But she was asking previously about the reports of a settlement with Trump in order to approve their merger.
Yeah.
And she has suggested that that was bribery, that they basically agreed publicly to pay a certain amount of money to his his presidential library, and perhaps privately to dedicate advertising money to his causes. And she suggests that maybe that's bribery.
So and this was the second point I was going to. If we look at that settlement, the 60 Minutes settlement, the most ridiculous defamation lawsuit, the most ridiculous settlement I can remember hearing of. I mean, you don't, first of all, even have a defamation claim if CBS edited an interview of someone you don't like, Kamala Harris, his electoral opponent, to make her look better. You don't even have a basis to walk in the front door of the courthouse for that. Rather than fight it, CBS caved and paid the $16 million. They 1,000% would have won that lawsuit if they fought it. Now, why and what the motivations were, was there some sort of quid pro quo? Nobody knows at this point. So I stand by both those things. Congress needs to find better things to do than worry about who's got late night. But
like,
it was
send more money to Israel?
ridiculous settlement, too.
Much as I would love to join any Trump pile-on that anybody wants to make.
Only 6 House members agreeing to cut $500 million in aid to Israel, like that?
I really think that this is financial. I really do believe CBS, the model of putting on a very expensive show at 11:30 p.m. where the host is making 8 figures and there's a large team.
This guy stinks.
The current model of television does not support that, and they are not making enough money over the long term to support having. So the next step, and I am sure that Colbert knew this was coming when he made that statement. So he made that statement because he knew this was coming.
Well, he
but
said
the
he
next
found
step,
out the night before.
That's what he said. But you can't pull the plug on a show this gigantic.
But that's I think that's the thing. I don't know, right? Like, I don't know, but you don't know. And I don't know that he would have said, I found out about this last night, if he didn't find out about it last night.
But the next step is Fallon and Kimmel, and I don't wish any of these people ill at all. I like all of them.
There are these broad trends in
these,
the
these big shows, these late night shows are going to be
there's one massive part of the conversation that's been completely omitted from this, and that is when you do a show that attacks half of America every night and you don't have conservatives on, and by the way, you're not funny, but attacking half of America and your ratings suck.
Yeah, because what is Greg Gutfeld's show? So we should just have more Greg Gutfeld shows?
You might lose your show.
There's a lot of reasons why the Colbert. But there's a lot of reasons why
this motherfucker is wearing an Israeli and American flag double pin. Look at this loser.
Their ratings are not working out. That have nothing to do with the political divide you're talking about.
But it's constant. He's having on Democrats.
Why does he look like one of the kids from Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, like grown up. Why does he look like he'd be like Mike TV or I don't know, the Glooper?
To trash Trump, he has constantly been
Augustus
trashing conservatives.
Gloop.
He referred to Donald Trump as a Nazi lover in 2017.
You understand that does make half of the country happy.
Right,
You
but
don't
if you
need to have-
alienate
but you
half
don't
the
need-
country,
but you don't
if
need
you
to
a-
have the whole country watching your show.
You
only need half the country. That's a great show.
He also looks like a fascist Cabbage Patch Kid. Cabbage Patch Kid, all grown up.
I mean, he wasn't funny. Why is Shane Gillis?
Listen,
By the way, why is
by-
Shane Gillis?
Here, listen.
do ESPYs?
The
'Cause he's funny.
here's the corollary to what you're saying, like
He
the other side.
just goes, watch Shane Gillis at the ESPYs because it's funny. Can I tell you something? Every time Shane Gillis does like a host job or a set or something, conservatives will always post it and be like, comedy is so back. And I gotta be honest, I think Shane Gillis's live performances, say him hosting the ESPYs, he seems uncomfortable. Like there's an awkwardness to it.
Of it is that, you know, there are shows that I will not name that spend half their time attacking liberals or attack all their
It's
time
like
attacking
comedy is
liberals.
back.
All their time attacking liberals. And it doesn't
Sure
have
he
any
is.
impact on their ratings whatsoever.
watched his
So
monologue?
to Ray's point,
He hates guys like
so
us.
to Ray's point, I don't necessarily think that's really on the ratings front. I don't really
Are
think
his ratings
that that's
good?
really what
Are his
matters.
ratings good? They're dismal.
point
He's
needs
getting
to
beaten
point-
by a cable news late night show. Let's be
But
clear about
As far as
that.
network
the
television
real
goes,
problem
ratings
is more like
God.
Netflix and the reasons what the democratization of the entire television landscape. There are so many more options for people to watch.
Oh God, these CNN panels. Honestly, these panels are just for generating clips to try and just it's just views. It's views. Rage bait. Yep. Yeah, all these liberal media shows now love having not even just one, but multiple conservatives on their panels that they have regular conservative collaborators who they pay a lot of money to. Okay, here is my union, WGA's, statement on Paramount's decision to cancel The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. The following is a statement from the Writers Guild of America East and Writers Guild of America West. On July 2nd, Paramount agreed to settle a baseless lawsuit brought against 60 Minutes and CBS News by President Trump for $16 million. On July 15th, during a regular show of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, Colbert went on air and called the settlement a big fat bribe in exchange for a favorable decision on the proposed merger between Paramount and Skydance, a charge currently under investigation in California. Less than 48 hours later, on July 17th, Paramount canceled The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, a show currently performing first in its time slot, giving vague references to the program's financial performance as the only explanation. For 10 years, the show has been one of the most successful, beloved, and profitable programs on CBS, entertaining an audience of millions on late-night television, on streaming services, and across social media. Multiple things can be true at the same time. Paramount wants their merger to go through. Trump wants to censor his critics. Colbert was stuck in the middle of this. Given Paramount's recent capitulation to President Trump in the CBS News lawsuit, the Writers Guild of America has significant concerns that The Late Show's cancellation is a bribe, sacrificing free speech to curry favor with the Trump administration as the company looks for merger approval. Cancellations are part of the business, but a corporation terminating a show in bad faith due to explicit or implicit political pressure is dangerous and unacceptable in a democratic society. Paramount's decision comes against a backdrop of relentless attacks on a free press by President Trump through lawsuits against CBS and ABC, threatened litigation of media organizations with critical coverage, and the unconscionable defunding of PBS and NPR. The Writers Guild of America calls on New York State Attorney General Letitia James, no stranger to prosecuting Trump for illegal business practices, to join California and launch an investigation into potential wrongdoing at Paramount. We call on our elected leaders to hold those responsible to account, to demand answers about why this beloved program was canceled, and to assure the public that Colbert and his writers were not censored due to their views or the whims of the president. In the meantime, the Writers Guild of America will support our members at The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and across the late night industry as they speak truth to power, and we will explore all potential legal and political avenues to fight for our members in the aftermath of this decision. The Writers Guild of America East and the Writers Guild of America West are labor unions of writers working in motion pictures, television, news, podcasts, and online media. Yeah. Again, it's not a good sign. Not a good sign for the state of free speech, for a free press, when if it is the case that the reason this happened was due to political pressure, was an effort for this merger between Skydance and Paramount to go through. It's being held up by Trump's FCC, and Ellison has met with Trump repeatedly. They gave him $16 million essentially as a bribe, as a like, hey, buddy, we're not your enemy. Yeah, legally speaking, we'd never cancel our top-rated show because they criticized the president. Legally speaking. Okay. All right. Well, I, for one, am so excited about Barry Weiss potentially serving as the ideological guide of sorts at CBS News. Can't wait for Late Night with Barry Weiss. Trump is a notorious pay-for-play type. He's been that way his whole life. Art of the deal. Trump, the thing about him, too, is like he will post on Maine like about how if you want to be in his good graces, then you better bend the knee. Like he does not hide the fact that he will punish those who do not bend the knee, do not align with the Trump way of things, and he will reward those who do. More like Art of the Steal. You're right, the Coldplay meme is officially dead. That's it, y'all. Mr. Beast posted, I bought 2 VIP Coldplay tickets, and one random person that tags their boss in the replies will win them. If you win, watch out for the Jumbotron. He is, I genuinely believe, a lizard person. He tries to do things that are like, hey, how do you do, fellow people? How do you do, fellow human beings? And we see you. We see you, Mr. Beast. We know that you're just a lizard person and a lizard in a human skin suit. Okay. We are going to talk about what the fuck is going on between Nicki Minaj and Representative Anna Paulina Luna, who is she's horrible. Okay. Anna Paulina Luna, who is she's a state representative for Florida. She is super MAGA. Awful lady. She was the one who also was talking about how the bombshell was going to be dropped in the Tory Lanez case. And it's like, sorry, I didn't see any bombshell. Yeah, she's been trying to pander to Tory Lanez supporters. She was going on cable news networks and talking about how, oh, there's bombshell new evidence that's going to exonerate Tory Lanez. Like, the fuck? And so Nicki is now... Nicki has gotten involved with Anna Paulina Luna because here's what happened. So Mac Wap, who is an associate of the record label Top Dog Entertainment, was doing a live stream And if you're not aware, Nicki has been crashing the fuck out for like, what, 4 days at this point. And she has been beefing with SZA, although it's very much so one-sided beef. SZA tweeted something about Mercury being in retrograde, which if you know SZA, you know that she tweets that all the time because she's very into astrology. Literally, there are at least like 10 times that she's tweeted about Mercury in retrograde. It triggered Nicki, who just went on this fucking rampage against her. And then she also was like throwing shots at Doechii, and she's just doing what she does, which is to constantly get in beefs with people, especially other Black female rappers. Okay. So Mac Wop was doing a live stream and briefly chimed in on the feud. And here's what he said.
What's going on, bruh? Oh my God. Update me. This internet shit crazy. I'm your blood. Hey, Nicki, relax. Relax. Or you get put in the blender like your boy did. Uh-oh. She gotta relax. She gotta relax.
Okay. He said, Nicki, you gotta relax. Also, for context, TDE is SZA's label. Yes. He said, Nicki, you gotta relax before you get put in the blender like your boy. What he is referring to is, who he is referring to is Drake. He's referring to the Drake and Kendrick beef of last year, which we all remember. And if you recall, Nicki is on Team Drake because Nicki is always on the side of the person who sucks. So Nicki is Team Drake, and one of the things that she was like coming at SZA for this week was claiming that like Drake had actually asked her to do the feature on Rich Baby Daddy and not SZA. Like, I don't know. She's tweeted approximately 200 times, and one of the things that she'd said was that Drake wanted her and Sexy Red to be on Rich Baby Daddy, but she turned the offer down, wanting her and Drake to collaborate on her album or whatever. Okay, so he's basically saying, like, before you get put in the blender, that is obviously that's a saying, right? That is not, he's not literally saying, he's not literally saying that someone is going to kill Nicki by putting her in a blender. He's referencing the fact that the famous beef from last year, Drake and Kendrick, ended up with Drake getting, with Drake getting put upside down and getting spanked. Like, he lost, and now he's in a lawsuit trying to sue over the public thinking that he was the loser in the situation, like being put in the application blender. And his own record label is, he's suing his own record label. So he was completely eviscerated, completely destroyed in this rap battle beef, which y'all remember from last year. And so what he's referencing here, Mac Wop, is that Nicki coming after SZA this week, which is just the latest Nicki Minaj beef, it's not going to end up well for her. Like, she already is losing. She's already losing, and she's just going to continue to lose, and it's only going to get worse for her. So Nicki posted this and said, "Is this a threat?" at FBI. She tags the FBI. She tags the FBI in this, and then she keeps going, and she's like, "Hey, FBI, CIA, I'm willing to be a snitch, just like Desiree Perez, if it has to do with her, Rock Nation, or TDE." Like, she just keeps going. Okay, lock him up. is tweeting at MacWap, is tweeting and saying, what streaming service is this? I want him removed immediately. If he's not removed, we'll know something. Tweeting at Representative Anna Paulina Luna, saying, this man just publicly threatened me. I've notified the FBI and CIA. I want this thug locked up, and I'm ready to talk about everything these people have done to me. Keeps tweeting, just lock him up. It seems to me he's talking about Tory. Well, she's trying to say that he was talking about Tory being stabbed, where she's like, oh yeah, you're calling on me to be stabbed in the way that Tory was. And also Nikki has, of course, been a supporter of Tory, like, of course, as she also said disgusting things about Meg and whatnot. FBI, I'm ready to talk about everything I know. CIA director, these thugs have gone way too far. They have now began public threats due to their leaders feeling above the law. So this is her latest, where she's now like, my life has been threatened. Okay. And then Anna Paulina Luna said, please text my cell. I will forward this to law enforcement immediately. Threats of violence and assassination should be taken very seriously. Hope you're okay. We'll talk soon, Nicki Minaj. Oh my God, it's so... Anthony Fantano said, LOL, aren't you supposed to be helping Tory? Yeah, wait, aren't you busy working on the bombshell evidence in Tory Lane's case that's gonna exonerate him? Yeah, by the way, guys, all on taxpayer dollars. All on taxpayer dollars. Okay, so then this kept going. She said, thank you. Hashtag protect Nikki. Okay, and then I think Anna Paulina Luna responded, okay, can confirm I spoke with Nicki Minaj directly and will be doing everything we can to ensure her safety, the Republican congresswoman said. We take threats of violence and assassination very seriously. RICO is also illegal. What the fuck? Why are we talking about RICO? I am deeply concerned that there has been unchecked corruption within certain aspects of the rap industry. Artists should be respected and not afraid of managers, labels, etc. Oh yeah, no, there's definitely unchecked corruption. We just saw that in the Sean Combs trial. We just saw how somebody like Sean Combs was able to sexually abuse countless people, including 2 of his ex-girlfriends, for years. But yeah, the real problem here is that Nicki Minaj's life is being threatened. Earlier this week, Minaj took a few jabs at SZA, whose real name is Solana Amani Rowe, while coming after Top Dog Entertainment founder Punch, according to Complex. In a lengthy, vulgar post on X on Thursday, Minaj claimed that she was originally asked to be featured on Drake's song Rich Baby Daddy instead of SZA. He wanted me and Sexy on it. I still have that version of just Drake and Sexy, she posted, referring to rapper Sexy Red, who's also featured on the song. All 3 of these people, by the way, support Tory Lanez. The pair continued to go back and forth with Minaj calling, and by the way, SZA supports Meg Thee Stallion, as you should. The pair continued to go back and forth with Minaj calling SZA a clown. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. SZA's also anti-AI. Yes, we love SZA. Yeah, that Anna Paulina Luna is getting involved here in just it's so stupid. It's so ridiculous to have this congresswoman acting as if this is some serious issue. I'm sorry, but at FBI that's insane. I've talked to the FBI and the CIA. It's snitching time. Snitching on who? On what? Girl, you have You have sex offenders around you. You have pedophiles around you. What do you mean? What do you mean it's snitching time? This is the most Nikki behavior and the most Anna Paulina behavior, so it tracks. Honestly, it makes sense that these two are linking up. They are of the same brain cell. ILY, thank you for the prime. Yeah, there's also nothing to snitch about. She's just posting it all on her Twitter. She's legit just saying stuff, just barfing out words that feel like they go together like a crappy AI. I know, man. I just am like, if you are a Nicki Minaj stan, how can you keep looking at this and being like, yeah, Nicki's in the right. I'm team Nicki. Because the other thing is too, look at the amount of tweets that Nicki has made about SZA. SZA has responded like a couple of times. And she responded and was like, yeah, this is stupid. Like, I'm not getting into your bullshit, because everybody knows that it's just Nicki's bullshit. Like, yeah, here's an example. SZA took the bait. Welp, looks like Mizza took the bait, silly goose. Meanwhile, there's just countless Nicki Minaj tweets about SZA. It's like, really, who took the bait here? 42 years old, by the way. Yeah. I mean, look, SZA is unbothered. She literally, the last thing she wrote on it, LMAO, let me go back to being calm, chic, and shy and meek. Y'all have blessed night. See you tomorrow for night 2, Paris. So, who do we think is the problem here? SZA's going diamond. Yeah, SZA's about to have her first diamond album, which again is what's pissing Nicki off. She just can't help herself. She's so insecure and jealous of any other female black rapper artist who is having enormous success. Like, she just cannot stand seeing other black women succeeding. And so Nicki stands. I gotta say, it's so over. You have lost the battles and the war. Like, there's no winning. There's no winning when you're on Team Nicki. Sometimes I listen to Roman's Revenge and I'm on Nicki's side for a second and then I snap out of it. Yes, Josh, snap out of it. She's, it's a sad thing too, because this is something that can happen with women as they get older. And because of these internalized misogynistic beliefs, as you get older as a woman, you look at younger women as threats, as your enemy. And it's this idea that like, oh, I'm being replaced by someone who's younger and therefore hotter. And it's sad. It's sad. I mean, I don't fucking feel bad for Nicki Minaj at this point. Also, see the fact that her husband and her brother are sex offender pedophiles. But this is like culturally, societally, we do have this way of like treating women as they age as losing value because they are aging, and being in the entertainment industry certainly reinforces that to a very great degree. I mean, I'm just talking about, generally this issue that we have, and absolutely Nicki is someone who can't stand to see other black women, especially younger black women, succeeding. My time is almost up. Yeah, you know what? What am I, 32? Yeah, I'm about done. And I'm going to just start going on a rampage against pop culture commentators who are in their 20s. I'm just going to start crashing out on Twitter and saying all sorts of crazy shit towards them. And the other thing too, with like when you are a person of color, there's also the tokenization. And, you know, I'm not saying that like this is all everything that Nikki is actually going through and like is what's informing her actions, but there is the like, oh, there's only room for one of us, right? I have been raised believing there's only room for one of us. Like I remember when I would be at an audition and I would see another Asian girl there, I'd be like, fuck, shit. And it just is this same, like a lot of times I would often be like the only, like I remember one time I went and I was meeting with this agency. They were pretty like noteworthy talent agency. And they were like, okay, so I auditioned for them and they were just kind of talking about, you know, my type, like the roles that I can play, etc. And then they were like, well, we really like you and we think you have a lot of potential, but unfortunately we just signed, and it was this other actress, this Korean actress, 100% Korean actress who looks nothing like me. And they were like, oh, we just signed her. So we just don't think that we have room on the roster. And I was like, I looked at the agent and I went, wait, but her and I, we're very different. Like we're Asian women, but she's Korean and I'm half Chinese and we don't look anything alike. Do you do this with like your white actresses? Is this how it goes? Oh, sorry. We already hired a blonde white actress. Like we're already representing a blonde white lady, so we can't have another one. I was just like so pissed off because it was another example of how, sorry, there's only room for one. OMG, that's what happened to Pearl. That is what happened to Pearl. Sorry, we have a brunette quota filled. Gonna need you to dye your hair. But yeah, it was this girl, her name was Catherine. I can't remember her last name. And it's crazy because we had been at auditions. Like I had seen her at auditions that I'd been to. She was a couple years older than me and had more success in the industry. Yeah, it was Catherine Zeta-Jones. But anyway, so it was also just oh, how funny that you do learn who the other Asian actresses in your kind of type and age range are, because you'll see each other at the same auditions. It'll be like, okay, clearly this is a role where they're doing the diversity thing. They're like, okay, we have to hire an Asian person for this. We're going to hire an Asian girl for this. So let's bring in the Asian girls. It's the Asian spot. But yeah, they would not, they did not want to add me to their roster because they had already signed another Asian actress who was in a similar age range. And so I went, great. Okay. Quota filled. Excellent. My sister's an actress. I remember her being so excited when her agent told her she was racially ambiguous. Oh yeah. That was the other thing too, is that they would always try and, stress like being racially ambiguous. And I'm half Chinese, but I look pretty Chinese. I look less ethnically ambiguous than other people who are mixed Asian. And so I'd be like, what do you want me to do? Look less Asian? You want how they'd always be like, oh, being ethnically ambiguous, it's so hot. Like that's what's in. And you'll get more opportunities. And I said, okay, yeah, give me a second. Let me just go look not as Asian. They're like, do you think you can look Latina? Like, they would basically go through all the different ethnicities that I could potentially play. Yeah, like with a tan, I could be Latina. Global Latiner belt confirmed. You all remember Tio Kwan, yes. Kwanita. Hi, I'm Caroline Kwanita. I mean, Ariana Grande did do it. That's true. Does the southern accent help? Hi. Well, hello. Yeah, so anyway, that's what's going on with Nicki Minaj contacting the fucking FBI. Girl, good luck. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you, Nicki Minaj, aside from the fact that you are rich, you have a lot of fans, you've had plenty of success. This is not just your world. Also, you married a rapist. Yeah. It really is an instance of somebody needs to take her phone away. Wait, good point. Hold on. So Meg gets called a snitch. Kid Cudi gets called a snitch. But Nicki is out here bragging on her Twitter page about snitching. She is tagging the FBI and the CIA in what was somebody referencing another rap beef from last year and being like, yeah, Nicki, you don't want to keep doing this because you are the Drake in this situation. I'm clipping this and posting it in the Barb Twitter community, by the way. Good luck. You know what? I'm tough. No, I'm not. Let me just state as a disclaimer, I am one of you. Okay, I am a Barb. I'm actually probably the number one Barb. Biggest Barb. I'm the biggest Barb. So whatever you hear following this disclaimer, just know that I am being held at gunpoint. SZA is right there. She's held me at gunpoint, and I've been forced to say all the things that I have said. Recite every Nicki Minaj song. This one is for the girls, boys in the booming system, top down AC with the cooling system. When he come into the club, he's blazing up. Got stacks on the deck, he's saving up. And he ill, he real, he might go to real. He pop bottles and he got the right kind of bill. He cold, he dope, he might sell coke. He always in the air, but he never flying coach. He's a motherfucking kiss him on the lip. That's the kind of dude I was looking for. And yes, you get slapped if you looking hoe. Excuse me, you're a hell of a guy. I mean, my, you like pelican fly. So shy. I can tell that you're in touch with your feminine side. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Somebody please tell me who the F I is. I am Nicki Minaj. I back the dudes up. Back dudes up and chuck the deuce up. Boy, you got my heartbeat running away. Okay? There you go. Proof that I am number one Barb. How many times a night did you hear that song? Okay, so actually, I was obsessed with that song in college. And I dressed up as Nicki Minaj for Halloween one time. Did this so well. I'm back on Nicki's side. You know what? Yeah, we take back everything we said. Why do your fave artists end up on Hinge? I know. Can they just stop? Oh, whatever you hear. Yep. Following this disclaimer, just know that I am being held at gunpoint. SZA is right there. She's held me at gunpoint. She is. I've been forced to say. She's like Mercury's in retrograde, bitch. Things that I have said. Recite Mercury's in retrograde, bitch. This one is for the girls. This one is for the girls. What's the second? What's it's this. Excuse me. Wait, why can't I think of this one? Is for the boys in the polos, entrepreneur, and the moguls. He could ball with the crew. He could solo, but I think I like it better when he dolo, and I think I like it better with his fitted cap on. He ain't even gotta try to put that something on. He just gotta give me that look. When he give me that look, then the penny's coming off. Yeah, I still got it. Yeah, I still got it. Yeah, I still got it. Makes good pancakes. Thank you for the 2 months. You guys, Jazz Friday is now Rap Friday. Jazz Friday has now become Rap Friday. You want to commit to that? I think I do. Said Lil bitch, you can't fuck with me if you wanted to. These expensive. These is red bottoms. These is bloody shoes. Hit the store. I can get them both. I ain't want to choose. And I'm quick. So don't get comfortable. Look, I don't dance now. I make money moves. Say, I don't gotta dance. I make money moves. Maybe I could do Jazz Rap Friday. Piss the bar. Oh no, shit. The barbs are gonna come for me again. Because I'm doing Bodak Yellow by Cardi B. Yeah, this is called slam poetry. This is called Slam Poetry Friday. Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. Hold up. I said certified freak 7 days a week. Wet ass pussy make that pullout game weak. What? Yeah. Yeah, you fucking with some wet ass pussy. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass pussy. Give me everything you got for this wet ass pussy. Okay, the comparisons to Ben Shapiro are fucking rude. All right, I will not stand for that. Tie me up. Like I'm surprised. Let's role play. I wear a disguise. I want you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. Make it cream. Make it scream. Make me scream. Out in public, make a scene. I don't cook. I don't clean. But let me tell you, I got this ring. This enunciation is wild. I didn't even do that as like a full dramatic monologue. With this, also, I'm so sorry. This crazy screenshot here. Maya Angelou couldn't have stated it better. That's right. Gobble me, swallow me, drip me down the side of me. Quick jump out for you let it inside of me. I tell him where to put it. Never tell him where I'm about to be. I run down on him for I have a running me. That's fucking bars. Yep, see, I am racially ambiguous. Never forget the best version.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. I said certified freak.
I got here just
7 days a week. Wet ass P word. Make that pullout game weak. Yeah, you effing with some wet ass P word. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass P word. Give me everything you've got for this wet ass P word. Beat it up, N word, catch a charge. Extra large and extra hard. Put this P word right in your face. Swipe your nose like a credit card. Hop on top, I wanna ride. I do a kegel while it's inside. Spit in my mouth, look in my eyes. This P word is wet, come take a dive. And continue along these lines. And it gets significantly more vulgar. Like, oh, a lot more vulgar.
Okay, you guys, I did not say P word. All right? I said pussy. I said pussy. Okay, so no, Ben Shapiro did not clear me in that. I did not censor the P word. It still sounds like a slur when he says N word. Yes, it does, because I do feel like he's saying it as a slur still. This is when I was happiest. Remember when things used to be simple? The Deacons, thank you for the 22 months. Blossman, thank you for the gifted sub. Zio, thank you for the gifted sub. Ben was more iconic. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Okay, when I went live today, never did I think that I would be sitting here as my own community was calling Ben Shapiro's performance of Wet Ass Pussy more iconic than mine. We have some whores in this house. We have some hating ass whores in this house. Oh yeah, there's some hating whores in this house. Girl, I gotta give 10s when they're due. Okay, this is what you get for not... I did not watch Inter with the Vampire yet. Yet. That's why I have not reported on it. It was not my fault, though. It was not my fault. I was actually planning on watching it. I know. I'm excited. I'm going to watch it tonight. I will. The show. The show. Okay, you guys. Next up, what we're going to do. Your cover is good. Ben's rating is better only because of the cringe factor. It's so bad. It's so good. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even bring out the jazz version yet. I was just doing spoken word. You know, there's a lot of different variations of wet ass pussy that I could do. Okay, so we are going to, and by we, me, I'm going to learn about the Gen Z stare. What the fuck is the Gen Z stare? I don't know. They're talking about how Gen Z is staring. And I have a feeling, that my opinion on this is going to be, oh, Gen Z does the stare because they are dead inside due to working in jobs that don't make it so they can pay their bills and considering the state of the world and all those things. And it lends itself to this stare that they find themselves doing. So this was the first time I think that it was brought up on TikTok.
Gen Z stare that you guys keep talking about? Yeah, I can do the iced or hot for you today. Iced is on ice, hot is hot. No, I can't do that blended. I can do it iced or hot though.
Okay, that's pretty funny. Okay, let's watch. Hold on, let me link this. This is Drama Queen. This must be a really big thing that's trending because I've already seen a lot of people making videos on it.
Hi, what can I get for you today? Could I get the cheeseburger with no cheese, no patty, no sauce, no pickles, no buns, just the cheeseburger? I'm on a keto diet, so I really gotta cut all of that out. So you want a nothing burger? No, I didn't say that. I said I wanted a cheeseburger with no cheese, no patty, no pickles, no sauce, no buns. A cheeseburger. Do the kids of today just not know how to make a cheeseburger? It has come to my attention that millennials
Also, her
over
look
on
is
TikTok
amazing.
have coined the term Gen Z stare, which refers to a Gen
Okay, wait. So this is millennials who are talking about the Gen Z stare on TikTok.
Z not giving the same kind of southern hospitality as previous generations did at their job. For instance, millennials, Gen Xers, and so forth are upset that they aren't being greeted when entering into an establishment, as well as supposedly being met with a blank stare whenever they are to ask a Gen Z a question. Which it's kind of sounding like to me whenever I hear these millennials talk about Gen Z this and Gen Z that, it always comes across as though we are a different breed of people, when it's kind of just like, let's not forget that y'all are kind of like raising the youngest of Gen Z. This entire discourse is based on Gen Z being rude, socially inept, riddled with SSRIs, so therefore Gen Z employees are incapable of being good workers. Gen Z are incapable.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's just I'm not getting paid enough for this shit.
Of starting conversation because millennials are apparently being met with the stare. Now look, as a Gen Z myself, I am 23, I have never experienced this bullshit in my life, because the problem with this discourse is the fact that nobody seems to be taking into account the 2 years myself and other Gen Zs globally were locked in their houses because we had a pandemic at hand to deal with. Yeah. I too struggle with my social skills at times because I was already very socially anxious before we
I gotta be real, without even getting deeper into this video, this kind of feels like something millennials are just making up for TikTok. Like they're just trying to make another generational conflict TikTok trend.
Went into lockdown, and then going into lockdown took away my formative years where I should have been going out all the time doing shit. Now that's not to say that I'm just staring at people
Like, bro,
when they are trying
I'm bringing this up too because this shit is everywhere. Like the Gen Z stare, it's all over. Look at this. You Google Gen Z stare. There's a piece on NBC News, Business Insider, NPR, CNBC. There was something in the Times, Forbes magazine, Huffington Post. It's everywhere. Everyone's talking about this fucking Gen Z stare.
Converse with me, but if you're gonna ask a stupid question, yeah, I'm gonna look at you like you're a dumbass too.
This is the Gen Z stare that I got when I went to Chipotle. I walk in, Gen Z.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Okay. To my fellow millennials, what do you want? Do you want to walk into Chipotle and some 18-year-old who's making like minimum wage goes, "Hey, welcome to Chipotle. What can I get ya? Would you like a bowl? Would you like a burrito? If you want guac, that costs extra." I'd like, do you want them to put on a show? I go in there and I'm probably like this. I'm like, can I have a burrito bowl? Can I have chicken? Can I have cheese? Lettuce? Pico? I'll do medium salsa. Yeah, I'll definitely do guac.
Can I get a bowl with beef, rice, beans, and guac?
Yeah, that was Will Neff's Broadway impersonation.
Our system is down, so we can't accept cards, only cash. I don't carry cash. Walks away.
And you wanted her to do...
Yeah, also, this is just a young person working like a minimum wage job that they don't care about. Every generation does that. It's not a Gen Z thing. It's not, okay? When I was in high school, I would go to, wherever, McDonald's, coffee shop, anywhere, and it'd be like people that I went to were in high school with me, or other teenagers, they'd be like, hey, what's up? Yeah, what do you want?
What exactly? I genuinely struggle to believe that the Chipotle employee was that egregiously rude. But like, she told you that the system was down. You said you don't carry cash, but the only payment that's available to make for your food is cash. Genuinely, like, what the f is she supposed to do about that? I'm walking away too, because it's like, we're not having a staring contest at my job right now. Simply could have just said, oh, no worries, I'll cancel my order because I don't carry cash and there is no ATM around, so I'm just gonna go eat something.
If I'm working minimum wage in an industry I don't give a shit about, I will not be excited to see you. Hey, how are ya? How's it going? Ah, good. Ah, yeah.
Else. It almost sounds like you
everything's
wanted her to
great.
go above her pay grade and suddenly become an IT Bill
Everything's
Gates and
great.
fix the system. I'm gonna stare at you like a dickhead too, because what do you want me to do about it? I'm not even being paid a living wage at the moment, Susan. I'm just here to make the beans and cheese and guacamole and rice combos. Go elsewhere if you don't have cash. Like, I really just don't know what this woman here wanted the Chipotle employee to do. I get it. If that was actually genuinely real, which I don't think it was, because I just cannot imagine a Chipotle worker just being like, I'm just not going to talk to any of the customers, even though my job entirely.
The TikToker and YouTuber both come off as drama baiters, like nobody IRL is complaining about this. Well, I think the YouTuber is responding to the TikToks about it, but also, like, I saw this all over various news outlets. And so, yeah, I think a lot of times something that people are complaining about on the internet is not something that people are, like, necessarily complaining about off of the internet. I think this is another example of something that is trending on TikTok and is silly and ridiculous, but also I think there is something real beneath the surface here, which is I think kind of speaks to just maybe how younger people, first of all, are always going to behave in a sort of dead inside way when you're working in a job that you don't care about. I mean, not just young people, but like hard to fake enthusiasm, but also like the effects of COVID and the current state of the world, where a lot of young people feel really disillusioned about their futures and working jobs that they are not making a living wage from, and feeling like they just have not a future. So no, I wouldn't come for this YouTuber, first of all, because she's responding to the boatload of TikToks about this Gen Z stare. To be fair, I feel like everyone feels like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm a very social person and usually pretty friendly, and I've worked tons and tons of different types of jobs, and not all of them have I been like, when I worked corporate jobs, I more so felt I put on a good face, or like working for tips, I'd fake that shit.
It relies on this.
I also don't do the Gen Z versus millennial generation wars. I'm not about it. This is propaganda that I'm not falling for.
Okay, first of all, every time a Gen Zer comes on this app and they try to defend themselves against the Gen Z stare, I actually think that they're millennials. I'm like, oh, it's another millennial talking crap on a Gen Zer. No! And then they go and they defend themselves on why they do the Gen Z stare, and I'm like, I actually thought they were millennials. They literally look our age. Okay, but that's not the point. This is the point.
Y'all are so obsessed with us, and it shows. You look your age, I look my age.
Yo, are you taking any Hassan refugees like me? Okay, this is a very funny thing to me. If I don't put Hassan refugees in my title, do people not think that they're welcome in here? I don't know. I'm a boomer. I don't know how this works. So if I don't put that in the title, it means get the fuck out. It means you ain't welcome. It's in the TOS. Yeah.
That's the end of that. Like, just starting off this video already with saying.
Also, I just have to say, I will never put Hassan Refugees in my title. But you know what? If you like what I'm doing here, if you align with the things that I believe in, and you like the content, you're welcome in.
That kind of shit gives me the idea that she already has something against Gen Z to begin with.
Okay. We're not talking about the Gen Z stare when somebody says something stupid and then you look at them like, what? Okay, no, we're not. You guys are not the first people to do that. My freaking dog does that, okay? Dog does that, okay?
The condescendingness so far is a little like, I don't know why she's acting as though we're incompetent little babies who cannot understand the basic concept of people from the dawn of time staring into somebody's face like, what the f did you just say, you absolute head? Yeah, there's cheese on this cheeseburger. Why did you ask if there's cheese on the cheeseburger? Obviously that isn't unique to only Gen Z, and I truly don't think that there are any Gen Zs out there acting like that, babe. But what we can acknowledge is the fact that older generations are presenting to be a little numb in the skull sometimes.
Look at this owl, he's beautiful. It's a Norwegian giant owl.
And that may be in part due to the rise of people actively using AI, because the amount of times that I have been waiting for food, whether that be sushi
I gotta be so for real too. I feel like people who try and fabricate these battles between millennials and Gen Z, I feel like they're ops. I don't trust them. You know, these generational wars. It's like, I don't want to fight with Gen Z. I'm not looking to smack down on Gen Z. I mean, look, are there things about individual generations that are definitely unique to us and I think can merit some humorous discussion? Totally. For older generations, maybe less humorous, yes. But I'm just like not into looking at Gen Z as my enemy. It's like, oh, look at this annoying thing. Also just monolithing Gen Z, being like, I had an experience with an annoying 20-year-old. It's like, yeah, 20-year-olds can be very annoying. It doesn't matter of which. It's not like these are things that only happened with Generation Z. Generalizing any generation is crazy. This also does kind of feel like a clapback to the millennial pause, where Gen Z was like making fun of the millennial pause, which is funny. And that totally is something that I do. Okay, but literally I refuse to do generation fighting. It's so stupid. Yeah, I mean, not to get all serious about it, but it's like my enemy is not Gen Z. And Gen Z's enemy is not me, a millennial.
Whatever. And I have heard, does this tuna sushi roll have tuna in it? Yeah.
And like, I will always have a lot of empathy for the younger generations, especially, you know, COVID isn't good for anybody. The lockdown, I mean, specifically. But I just think about like the impact that had on younger people. And You know, I was 28, I think. I think I was 28 during that year of the pandemic lockdown, etc. And I just think about people who were like in college who missed a couple of years, you know, who were in high school. Ugh. I want to see their material condition. It's a whole idea of like, we want to make the world better for the generations to come. You know, I want things to be better for younger generations than they were when I was growing up. You know, it's like one thing I do all the time is I talk a lot about issues such as consent, right? When I cover abuse cases in Hollywood, we have these conversations where I talk all the time about like when I was growing up, this was really not existent, and how I see younger people having these conversations and this awareness and this language and these understandings in a way that I didn't. And that's a good thing. Like, and then I look at my mom and it's even worse. And so it's like we are trying to achieve progress for ourselves, but to make it better for the generations to come. So yeah, I mean, there are things that people who belong to certain generations do that are awful and annoying, but it's not something where I'm like, oh man, fucking Gen Z. I just completely writing off like Gen Z as a whole. Yes, they didn't experience Baby One More Time by Britney Spears, so I'll always have empathy for them. So true, Josh.
Problem is the entitlement to an over-the-top social
And also, like, my anger is reserved for, look, I also am not all fuck old people. There's a lot of old people who are struggling too. But when I look at who's in power, when I look at who has been running things for a long time, like, yeah, I'm reserving my anger towards them.
Fraction whenever you're to enter a restaurant, more specifically a fast food joint. Most fast food places tend to hire young employees as they're more likely willing to accept being paid less than minimum wage at certain establishments. Sorry, the red carpet isn't being rolled out whenever you're to walk into a Wendy's. There's not going to be a song and dance whenever you're to get your side of lunch. I love me some hot gruel in a bag too, trust me. ooh. But I don't expect tired, underpaid, overwhelmed 16, 17, 18-year-olds to be so chipper when they see me at the drive-through window.
I want a song
now, like
and
I
dance.
said before, I have never been met with these dumb blank stares that millennials over on TikTok are talking about. But say that was to happen, I would just be like, is this person okay? Like, this isn't really unique to only Gen Z. I think what's happening here is millennials are becoming much like their parents and are stereotyping the younger generations. The oldest Gen Z is 27. So it would make no sense that grown-ass adults are just staring at you when you're to try and ask them a question. I don't think the Gen Z stare is a thing. I genuinely think that these millennials are just finding another way to hate on Gen Z.
We're talking about, this happened to me the other day at the mall, okay? Excuse me, can I get this in a size 6, please?
Like, honestly, you're the one who's annoying. Okay, you are fucking annoying. This girl on the right. This is embarrassing. Frankly, I'm going to finish this video, but I've seen enough. Like, this is just embarrassing. Who gives a fuck?
I know it's a little loud in here. I don't think you heard me. Can I get this in a size 6, please?
Like, you're being rude. You're actually the person. You know what this is, too? Okay. This comes down to how people treat service workers. Truly, there is this like attitude, an expectation for service workers that frankly is just it's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. What do you want? Who cares? My God. Have you ever worked in a dead-end service job? I have. They fucking suck. Working in retail? Horrifying. Retail is such an awful, awful job because the people who come in, the customers, are so shitty. It's soul draining. Customers in retail are awful. Where's that guy when you need him? You know who I'm talking about, the then die. That guy. The way people are so entitled, so fucking entitled, insufferable. Oh, he posted one. Oh, I have to see it. Please. The IKEA guy. Yes. Yeah. Seriously, retail workers are some of the strongest soldiers. They're stronger than the military. I gotta be honest too. I do think that this is a very American attitude, right? The attitude that we have towards service workers. The Gen Z stare is the biggest issue in the workplace right now.
Stare is the biggest issue in the workplace right now. No, it's still low pay. I've heard so many definitions of the Gen Z stare online. At this point, it just means how someone looks that you don't like. Hey, that guy's giving me the Gen Z stare. That's an 80-year-old man. Yeah, he's an iPad kid. If a customer gives you the Gen Z stare, just consider that quiet moment an extra break. And if an employee gives you the Gen Z stare, understand they're just taking a moment of silence to mourn the possibility of ever retiring. Next, it'll be the biggest issue facing workplaces today is the Gen Z breathing process. Apparently, young people's bodies prioritize oxygen over customer turnover rate. Think of the economy. The Gen Z stare is the biggest issue in the workplace right now. No, it's still low pay.
It's still low pay. Oh my God, I fucking love this guy. I think a lot of good customers who've never worked retail or service think that we just reset after every customer, and they're like, well, why are you already mad when they walk in at hour 6 of your shift? Oh my God. What's your problem? I've worked as a front desk concierge. I have as well. And I worked at a very fancy building. It was horrible. Believe me, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. When I was working at Best Buy, this old guy was asking me for an HDMI cable. I gave him a $15 cord. He wanted to fist fight me because he wanted a $150 diamond cord. Like, I was trying to save you money. I'll never forget, I was working at Trader Joe's at the beginning of the pandemic, first week of mask mandates in New York, and I was wearing my mask at the register. A lady looked at me and goes, why are you wearing a mask? Are you a pussy? And then spit on the floor. Awesome. Yeah. Here's the thing about working in the service industry. You will always, always have horrible interactions with people, especially, I swear, in America because of the entitlement. Because even when it's not a job that like you get tips in, there is still this like, you owe me. Like, I am your lead. I am your overlord. You're not seen as a human being. I know. And the thing is too, when I go into a place, like if I'm going in to shop somewhere, I kind of want to be left alone. I actually prefer someone who's just like, hey, I'm like, hey, they're like, if you need anything, let me know. I'm like, great. Because I like to just be on my own. I don't need to have a convo and like have you circling around me, ensuring that every need of mine is taken care of. Like, I'm just trying to see if these jeans fit. And I fucking hate trying on jeans. Like, I'm not happy being here. I am not happy being here trying on these jeans. Yeah, I mean, a lot of you have obviously worked in service jobs that you have many examples of customers being horrible. Truly. Yeah, retail especially, my God. Oh my God. There's an overall, like, working in a service job, you will just deal with a bunch of shit, but then there are within the service industry certain fields that it's just some of the worst horror stories. I've bullied so many customers, though. Yeah, like this woman, if that's actually how she behaves, she should be bullied.
This didn't happen. Like, I hate to be one of those people, and it's not that I'm going to bat for my fellow generation or because I'm Gen Z myself. I genuinely do not believe this is happening. I just don't. And if this is happening, you're probably dealing with teenagers. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll go get it.
To some extent, I do find this hard to believe that this is actually happening on a large scale, because even when I have interacted with the youngest of Gen Zs in the workforce, I've never been met with this. It's leading me to believe that this might just be an American thing. And because
That's what I just
don't
said.
live in America, contrary to popular belief, no,
because I don't believe in America.
I do not live in America. This TikToker was right, and the employee couldn't hear her.
Oh, she said because I don't live. I thought she said I don't believe in America. I was like, okay, that's pretty funny.
The loud ass music in the store, because I swear, you go into any retail store at the moment and they are blasting music to the point where you can't even hear your own critical thoughts. Should I buy this? Would this actually look good on me? And that's probably why we impulse buy a lot. I mean, not me.
I'm like, that's weird. That was really weird. That's odd. Okay, and it's not, and not only that, okay, but listen, it's not just the millennials that notice it, okay? It's the Gen Alpha that notices it. It's the kids that are younger than you, the ones underneath you guys, okay? They notice it too. So we saw some Gen Zers the other day, and they were riding their electric scooters, okay? They're the older gen, they're not kids, because I wouldn't talk crap on kids, but they're older generation, and they're riding their electric scooters, okay?
This nobody wants to work anymore bullshit. No one wants to get off their asses and work.
And the whole time, and my daughter like sees them riding on bikes, and
stupid.
My 10-year-old waves. Okay, this is them.
Okay, well, if that did happen, it's probably because your daughter has fucked vibes because you are the mother. But also, no, Alex, give me didn't happen for 100. Because the thing that the internet does, all right, here's what the internet does. It encourages people to just make shit up, right? Or to just totally exaggerate things, especially when something's a trend and people want to get in on it. So be like, oh yeah, no, I totally know what that is. One time I went into my nail salon and they were like, hey, how can I help you? But not in good English. So I was like, hello? Can you speak English? This is America. And then I left 0 stars on Yelp because, okay, a lot of things. There are many annoying customers, people who are just entitled and rude, but also the internet, which makes people run to the internet and be like, hey, I'm gonna like make something that was not a thing, but also I'm going to end up looking like an asshole here.
Make me sound like a cunt right now, but I'm not waving back to your daughter either. I'm just not. And it's not because I absolutely hate kids and I'm the Grinch and I just want to make kids cry. Grr, hate kids. Disgusting. No. I don't know the kid. I am also on a potentially life-threatening vehicle, which if I stop to give a cute little wave, boom, a car hits me, and now, because I'm in America, I have hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of dollars in hospital fees in which I can't pay because the government is absolute shite and they really don't want anybody to be winning in life. It's almost like
I think it's fair to say COVID broke people's brains and people are less polite now, but it's not a generational thing. Right. Like, I think the stupidity of this is trying to act as if Gen Z is uniquely rude and ungrateful, as like just ascribing these things to specifically Gen Z because they are the youth. Like, obviously there's Gen Alpha that's younger, but like when it comes to people in their 20s, right? Teenagers and people in their 20s. It's Gen Z. Yeah. Also, if you're riding a scooter, you should be using 2 hands. Like, I get the fucking Gen Z stare from boomers at the fucking card as the card reader's beeping and they just look at me. It's not a generational thing. Yeah, I think you can apply this stare to every generation.
I was expecting this Gen Z to put their scooter down, wave to the girl, say hi, high five, love you, kid. The entitlement that you're modeling here to your Gen Alpha daughter is going to prove to be bad in the future, because she also has to understand that not everybody in this world is willing or wanting to interact with you. I know that may be a hot take and a little bit controversial because it sounds antisocial. I am a very no-nonsense person. I just want to get in and out of places. Like, if I am in the middle of Woolies, I don't want to be speaking to you for an entire 20 minutes when I have all this stuff I need to get done in a day. And it's not even just that. It's not even me just being selfish. I just simply don't want to talk. This isn't my environment. People are so rude when you want to just go about your day. Like, I don't know, man, you want to make friends, go to a bar, go to a club. I'm almost on my period and I want my cheese and bacon shapes and I want my caramello koalas. Go away. That's not to give an okay to people by any means whatsoever. To go ahead and be a to everybody every single day. That would just be shitty. But all I am hearing so far is seething with envy for Gen Z. For what exactly?
Yeah, Jaina, how has my generation lived through 30 years of being accused of killing literally everything in society and turned around to start beef with Zoomers on TikTok?
I don't know.
The whole time, they made eye contact. And my daughter's like, did they not see me? I'm like, oh yeah, they saw you. So anyways, I'm not trying to be mean by saying these things to you guys. I actually genuinely am just so sick and tired of going out in public and asking a question and you guys being like,
well, your questions are probably fucking stupid, okay?
Guys, you gotta get your stuff together, okay?
You gotta shut the up and stop obsessing over Gen Z. I have been seeing so many videos on my For You page over the past couple of days of millennials being like,
okay, well, then don't go in public anymore. All right, ain't nobody want you in public.
Well, Gen Z can't take what they dish. I'm not dishing anything to any of these generations. In fact, a lot of y'all just want to argue for the sake of arguing, even if it is over something that isn't happening. I don't doubt for a second that a lot of the experiences over on TikTok that are being spoken of, you know, with the whole Gen Z stare or a blank stare whenever you're to ask a Gen Z a question, I just feel like...
You know what? As a millennial, I am now going to start doing the Gen Z stare in solidarity.
A lot of this is exaggerated with some of the language that is being presented in these videos because it already sounds biased. It already sounds like it is chipping away at being negative and hateful. And it's feeding into those stereotypes that young people are just stupid and they're slow and they can't do anything. I mean, I can't vouch that this TikToker's stories are real, of course, but maybe we should just stop assuming so much about our daily social interactions. I think with social media, we tend to really overthink things to an absolute extreme. Like, what if that employee that you're asking for a size 6 from is scrolling through their memory bank and is like, wait a second, I remember putting size 6s out a couple of days ago. Where have they gone? Are they all sold out? I don't think we have too many in the back. And meanwhile, it's just... It is quite concerning, though, how many Gen Zers...
Yeah, I mean, that's the point I was making about the internet as well, where it just makes people... It makes people act annoying. Like, make an issue out of something that's not. Like, people just want attention. Everyone just wants fucking attention. And so they'll go online and do whatever to get attention and make a mountain out of a molehill.
Over on TikTok, attest to this happening, even sharing their own stories of how people really act that then warrants the blank stare.
Hi, welcome in. How is everyone tonight? Can I get you started with something to drink? Do you need a minute? I can give you a minute. Take your time.
I do think to a certain extent, some of these experiences that are being displayed over on TikTok are largely due to the fact that there are a portion of young Gen Zers who partake in the nonchalance activities. That is not showing emotions because it's cringe. Everything is cringe, so I'm just gonna look at you like you're stupid. But it isn't a collective thing. It isn't something that all Gen Zers possess, because whenever we talk about, say, Gen Alpha here on this channel, it's not
so
all that
tired,
Gen
I
Alpha
can't
are iPad kids riddled with TikTok-itis and can't think and can't speak and are just like, I don't have an iPad, I'm gonna throw a tantrum in the middle of this Applebee's. There's nuance to these conversations, of course. But in all seriousness, this is a phenomenon that may also be happening due to stunted social skills that can be attributed to lockdown. Here in Melbourne, Australia, in 2021, we first went into lockdown in March. That ended in May. Then in the same year, we went back into lockdown from July to October. That's over 100 days. And then it doesn't just stop there, because in 2021, there were even more lockdowns. If you were in Australia, you were considered to be under the harshest, strictest lockdowns, especially here in Melbourne, Victoria. In 2020, I was 18 years old. When we left lockdowns, I was nearing on 21. I don't like to talk about these experiences so much because it really brought on a lot of agoraphobia, something that I have never experienced in my life prior to lockdowns. And I can say today, I'm doing a lot better, like a lot better. Sometimes I can get these triggers that come up and I'm just like, you know, I don't want to leave the house, period. This feels like I am being closed in on and swallowed up by the earth whole. And I obviously had anxiety issues before lockdowns, but again, it really increased those issues for me because I was between four walls all day, every single day. Like, I don't think people remember how bad the restrictions were. You weren't allowed to go to the grocery store. One person of each household was able to go to the grocery store. It wasn't everybody. There was only 1 hour of exercise time. So you couldn't go outside of your house for 23 hours a day. You were a prisoner. Now, we did that work.
Yeah, she agrees about the social skills thing, and I am not disagreeing with that either. Like the impact that that lockdown and other just the way that yes, like, okay, the disappearance of third spaces, the way that a lot of people now interact only over the internet, like, this is something that's had an effect on people, not just in Gen Z, but of course, like, for those who were still in an developing stage, being affected by lockdown, by COVID, was going to have potentially stronger effects. And it's I think this issue with socializing, with being potentially socially underdeveloped, struggling to like function in any type of social setting. I don't think that that's the fucking Gen Z stare. Also, she's doing the Gen Z stare right now. I have not watched Eddington yet, but I will be watching it. A lockdown messed me up when I was 25 during it. I feel bad for people younger than me. Yeah, I mean, that's what I said, where I was like, it had an effect on me. I mean, I remember like the first year after lockdown, and how I really struggled initially with returning to socializing. And I'm a person who like is very naturally social. So I can only imagine how it was for people who already had social anxiety and for people who were younger. But anyway, that to me is a different issue than some dumbasses on TikTok complaining about service workers not being friendly enough.
Of course, for the greater good, but it still doesn't take away from how much damage people are still living with till this day. And the fact I'm seeing no empathy and it's just bullying and making fun of Gen Z, and I can imagine that a lot of these Gen Zers who are presenting behaviors of the Gen Z stare are struggling a bit. And I hate that we're just looking at people and assuming what kind of person they are. I don't think that that is healthy for anybody involved. I think in the service industry, it is a lot different because they're dealing with such heavy shit all day, every day, such as the cost of living crisis, the housing crisis, or rental crisis rather, and a plethora of world issues that we feel so helpless to. We're hyper aware about the problems around us 24/7. I mean, forgive people for giving you a little bit of a look and taking some time to process what you're saying because everybody's acting.
Bro, I even experienced the like feeling awkward in social situations when I first started streaming, when I was like really grinding out streaming and I was not hanging around people going out like I used to. And when I started to do that again, it was like I could feel the difference in me because I had been spending so much time just streaming, being on the internet. Like those social skills had atrophied. Sure, but you were natural with streaming. Oh, thanks. But I mean, like, I remember when I saw my friends who, like my nightclub friends, for the first time after I'd started streaming, and I was just kind of like, it felt strange. My bestie's a streamer, and at my barbecue, she literally said, "Bye, chat." Oh no. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. She's too deep.
Like there is a deadline to when you should respond to somebody. Now, for me, because I am neurotypical, I respond to people very fast if we're talking in person or on the phone. Like, I don't struggle to answer questions. I don't struggle to talk at all. I'm perfectly capable and able in that instance. But there is just something about this entire topic that just doesn't feel right, you know? And you're upset because you're getting a stare that isn't just unique for Gen Z. Like that TikToker just said for herself. Everyone does that, even her dog. The majority of us went through a global pandemic at the time we were...
Wait, is chat like a term that people just use all the time now? Because I, as a streamer, don't even use it that often. Chat has always felt like... It's always felt in... It's always felt impersonal to me. Like, I actually don't really love referring to you all as chat. Like it kind of, to me, it kind of takes away like the individuality. I don't know. I think it's a me thing. Chat, is this real? So I didn't even know that people were really using that outside of being streamers, referring to your chat. We're a hive mind. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I use it sometimes, but it was never a thing that like I naturally have felt I acquired, like that I added into my vocabulary. I'm not even a streamer, but sometimes I call my brain chat. Like, Kai is a person who is always saying chat, 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 chat. Listen, chat, chat, chat. Chat. Oh my God. Flunky. Flunkerino. Thank you for the 20 gifted subs. My oh my. Be-do-do-do-do. Using the term chat and chatter are how you can monitor the progression of Twitch brain rot. Yeah, I don't, and I also don't like chatter. I'll use it sometimes if I can't find who it was. I'll say that. A lot of times I say that person, though. I'm like, well, that person said. I don't know. I think it's one of those, it's a very specific me thing because I am how I am and I started streaming at 30 and there's just still some things that I just have not naturally I haven't become accustomed to. Chat creates a sense of do you all like chat? Does everyone like the term chat? I mean, a lot of people use it. I think it's fun to say chat. No. Yeah, okay. I guess neutral on it. Could you call me Sweetie Ken? Sweetie OPD? Anyway, I don't think it's like this major thing, but I think it's a personal preference. And I think it was popularized because Kai uses chat all the time. Like every clip I see of him constantly, chat, chat, chat. No, listen, chat, chat, chat. Yo, chat, chat. Anyway. I would like to be called Hey, handsome.
Supposed to learn critical social skills. As workers, you treat us like we're incompetent. As customers, you treat us as if we're going to be rude before we even open our mouths. You infantilize the majority of us while still viewing us as adults when it's convenient. The majority...
I think, too, when you're a bigger streamer, when your chat is flying by so fast, I think it maybe makes more sense. Where I think with smaller streamers, where it just kind of feels more intimate, more personal in the stream, it feels like you just want a different word.
Gen Z was raised by older millennials and you're the ones creating iPad kids. Just yes. Yeah, my parents, though, are actually younger Gen Xers, and I think that a large portion of Gen Z's parents are too Gen Xers, you know? The problem millennials seem to have
has a song called 30 for 30 where she says
they're
chat.
being stared at when A, asking stupid questions, B, not waving to a kid because you could be in a potentially life-threatening situation if you're to take one hand off the damn scooter and not wave back to a kid. They'll live. I think that it can be perceived as rude if you are to blankly stare at somebody when they're trying to talk to you, because some people are taking this entirely the wrong way. You know, it's not that people feel entitled to speak to you. It's just that if you're working at a service job where you're providing service to people, you should probably answer their questions no matter how dumb they are. And if it's really as dumb as, you know, I saw this one TikTok where this girl was like, oh, my customers asked if there was a banana in the strawberry banana smoothie. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna warrant a, what the fuck? Yes, there are bananas in strawberry and banana smoothies.
Hi, how are you? Can I get a kid's cheeseburger Happy Meal with no onions? My daughter has like this weird onion allergy, so I just wanna make sure those aren't on there. And a Sprite to drink, please.
Also, you know what? If I'm working at a fast food place, I'm probably ripping marijuana. I'm probably stoned. All right. So maybe it's not the Gen Z stare. Maybe it's the I'm stoned because this job sucks. I'm ripping marijuana. Just check the fuck out. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not being rude because you're Gen Z. It's you're just high. Yeah, you know, all these people making videos aren't ordering things as nicely as they do. Right, like this didn't happen this way. I'm ripping bongs. I'm giving myself permission to rip a bong.
Okay. So do I pay now, or can I just tap my card right here?
Now, this example right here is why I'm more inclined to say that I genuinely don't think that this is a real thing. I don't. It is sounding and looking so bitter. If the Gen Z stare is such a genuine thing, why don't I have it? Well, like, I believe, not to, you know, put many fingers and thumbs up my own ass, but I believe I have a pretty expressive face. And I also believe that I am a very assertive, attentive person to whenever somebody is needing help with something or they don't know the answer to the question.
Well, now you can pay over time for your burger and fries.
They ask me.
Yeah,
and maybe I'm
fast
making too
food
many
stare.
concessions here for these Gen Zers who are presenting the Gen Z stare, but like, what if bro showed up to work absolutely high as f***? There are so many times where I've gone to fast food places, even though weed is not legal here in Australia and people are just stoned out of their minds. Or maybe the more realistic thing, bro has a headset in his ear trying to listen to you and the other employees.
Hi, my name is Matt. Yo, thank you for the prime. X-Rhetoric, thank you for the prime.
This is not Fortnite. What? Like, you asked for no onions on a burger from a place where there are...
Again, not a pre-watch, just lived experience. Oh, you're telling me that someone at a fast food restaurant was looking at you like this? It's called weed. It's called maybe being stoned. Just, can I get a number 5? It's called the weed stare.
So many traces of onions and employees who sometimes don't give a damn what they put on a burger. How many times have I been through the drive-thru with my partner and he's one of those like pickle haters, absolutely just give me all them pickles, but he's like, can I get no pickles on the burger? And you get the burger and what do you know, there's 6 pickles on the damn thing. The employee is probably looking at you confused, like, why are you getting a burger with no onions because your daughter has an allergy from a place that is absolutely riddled with onions? Could there be a lawsuit on my hands? Because if there are traces of onions in the burger and your daughter happens to have a very severe reaction to it, what's going to happen to me? It's just like, sometimes in life, there are so many things going through a person's mind.
I told my coworker to meet me in my office. Hey, we have a meeting in the office. We just go in the back room and rip the... Yes.
When you are talking to them, sometimes there just isn't a deadline when you're talking to somebody to get a response back. I completely understand that if some of these TikToks are genuine and in the circumstances that they are presenting actual realistic examples, I'm gonna stand on my business and I'm still going to say everything that I've said in this video up until this point. There is obviously an aspect of shaky social skills that could explain this Gen Z stare, but I also think for a great deal of it, it's people who are being met with dumb and then giving back dumb. I think that this entire thing is really stupid to begin with, and I can't believe that I am sat here making a video about
thank you for the
Gen Z stare, call it bias, say, you know, I don't live in a particular part of the world that has this behavior presented 24/7. That all being said though, I do think to a certain extent there is some truth there being a problem with a portion of young Gen Zers, you know, the youngest of them, wanting to be nonchalant so bad that they are being rude as to anybody who tries to talk to them. There is this massive culture within younger generations who genuinely think that presenting any sort of emotion, saying more than one word, being not dry for once in their life when talking to another living, breathing individual is somehow cringe. Oh, you're pushing 20. Why are you trying to ask me a question? I don't know anything. That all being said as well, I have never met a Gen Z adult who is staring at me blankly in the face like their brains are malfunctioning from the incessant doom scrolling. I just want to make this very clear that this is just my thoughts and opinions. There are so many times where I make videos here on my channel where I say things that I believe in, and then people will come at me like I'm trying to give the right opinion. No, there are probably so many of you who completely disagree with this video.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to start using that for these fucking phase guys who, God forbid, they meet a woman who's 30. I'm going to be like, you're like pushing 22, huh?
And I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Yikes. So if you've got any, let's start that conversation down in the comments section below, because maybe you have had opposing experiences to mine, and maybe opposing opinions at that too. Thank you so much for joining me again.
What's crazy is that when I was looking at YouTube videos about this, there was one that was an hour. An hour on the Gen Z stare. I do appreciate though that she was like, I can't believe I'm making a video on this, but it is also funny to like make a 27. Good points were made. But yeah, I mean, oh God. I mean, look, here I am sitting here being like, we're making something out of nothing, but also I'm a live streamer and that's the nature of the job is you stretch out something into hours. Sometimes, okay, I've experienced this when I've gone on like when I went on Taylor's podcast, where it's the streamer brain of I'm so used to spending a lot of time talking about one thing. So I've had to work at being concise when I'm on a different type of platform. The streamer stare, or just the streamer going on and on and on about something. Let me tell you, with our own podcast, a lot of times I repeat myself. I'll like run through a point and then I'm constantly bringing up the same points because that's something I'm used to doing, the streamer tangent, but also just the streamer repetition, because you have people coming in at different points, and also just you're live streaming and you are live for hours. Like when Hassan does an interview and asks 10-minute questions. Yes, streaming does not your skills at being concise, at being a concise communicator, are not skills that you harness via streaming. Like you probably know, if you watch Hassan, you know his talking points, like topics that I talk about all the time. You know the points that I will make over and over again. It's a common phenomenon with every generation.
Hey, Vsauce. Michael here. Skeletons are scary and spooky. But you know what else is? Teenagers. Their attitude, the way they dress, and the music they listen to. Can you even call it music? Kids these days. But what are kids?
The age-old scary entity that is teenagers. Teenagers. I was a teen when this was posted. Yeah, this is almost 10 years old. Wait, was it Vsauce who just recently put out a new video and everyone's like, oh my God. Right. All the ghosts. First video in what, 3 years? Can you imagine being that much of a legend on YouTube that when you put out a video on your main channel for the first time in 3 years, it's like huge news. Everyone's talking about it. It's already at 3 million views. Yeah. Andrew Gooden came back. Ooh. Why did you steal the recipe?